We're live. Worst Hearthstone set review. The crew's back. John's back in America. Madness at the Darkmoon Faire.
Oh,
John, say hello. You're very tired. John.
yeah. Do it.
Alright, we got Jamie here also.
Hello.
Hi. Well, you just jump into it. So this set's all about the old gods. So we'll talk about the old gods first. We got Cthulhu the Shattered. First card of the set. Probably one of the coolest cards of the set. You know, call back to the original Cthulhu. Pretty iconic card. So, it's a 10-mana 6/6. And at the start of the game, it breaks into pieces. So, the pieces are, if I know them off... So, how it works is... You break into four random... Or you get four pieces of Cthulhu to start with the deck. And there's 5 mana destroy a minion. There's 5 mana deal 4 to everything. There's 5 mana get a 6/6 taunt. And then there's 5 mana, I think, deal 7 random damage split to everything. Split to all enemies. And then once you play all 4 of those cards, then you shuffle Cthulhu into your deck.
Okay.
So it's very slow.
It's very slow. It's exceedingly slow.
I mean, the original Cthulhu was also an exceedingly slow card, but you could get it and then not have it get value for a while.
Yeah.
I guess that avoids that problem, but...
So, I think... We just want to talk about the old gods first because they kind of contextualize every other card in the set, or a lot of the other cards in the set. I think this will shine in decks that have ways to tutor for the spells that you need to get Cthulhu into your deck, and or have a way to tutor for Cthulhu once you get it into your deck.
But there's
So
not
mage.
that tutors. Yeah.
I think Rogue is the one that sticks out for me. Because Rogue has ways to pull cards that didn't start in your deck. And also has bonuses for cards that didn't start in your deck.
I think it's too slow. There's too much shit that's unfair.
It is very slow. It's slower than original Cthulhu, which says
Although,
something.
I don't play this game anymore.
Yes.
John, you can't
None of
reveal
us
that
do.
during the game.
Yeah. No, yeah, the meta is relatively aggressive. There's not really like a pure control deck in the meta right now.
Yeah, I think this is probably a good card. I just don't know if it's going to be good.
I do not think this card will see serious competitive play, I'll be honest. Like
Yeah,
the
I
pieces
think
are
most of
like
it
they're
is,
not bad. Like 5 mana get a 6/6 taunt. Like it's not a bad card. But it's just like not enough. Like a control deck does not want to play Assassinate like in the current year, you know? Like
Yeah, yeah.
and you need to play all 4 of them. And you can't just like turbo it out. Like the original Cthulhu, sometimes you just like high roll your opponent, you play like a 12/12 Cthulhu on turn 10 and just like kill them.
Yeah.
But you cannot do that with this card. I think this is probably pretty bad.
Yeah. I think it's probably like 2.
I think 2 is probably about right. Oh, so we're rating everything from 1 to 5. You guys want to do 0.5s, or are we just gonna big dick it? And
No,
only do
let's just fucking
0.5s?
stick the number on it.
Alright, let's give it a 2.
All right, you heard it. I think it's a 2, yeah.
All
I think
right,
it's a
let's do it.
I think it is a somewhat fun card, but it's not like super fun, and it's probably not going to be competitively good.
Yeah, alright. I agree. Alright, next little god. Jamie, how do you pronounce this card?
Yasharj.
Okay, I also say Yasharj. So people say Yasharaj, but I say Yasharj. Okay. It's a 10 mana 10/10. Battlecry. Add a copy of each corrupted card you've played this turn to your hand that costs 0 this turn. So corrupt is one of the
You
new
played
keyword
this game.
mechanics. Which one?
Each corrupt card you played this game.
This game, yeah. So corrupt is one of the new keyword mechanics, and it is. So the card starts with a default. I'll give an example of a corrupt card. So the card starts with a default, like state, and then you corrupt it by playing a card that costs more mana than that one. So, for example, this is a pretty cool one, the Carnival Clown. It's a 9 mana 4/4 with taunt, and Battlecry summon 2 copies of it. But if you corrupt it, then you instead fill your board with copies of it. So it's kind of like a modal card.
So you play the 9 mana card, and then at some point later you play a 10 mana card.
No,
Does that
you have to
affect-
play a 10 mana card before that, and then it gets corrupted while it's in your hand.
Okay. So, for example, the horrendous growth,
The
2 mana
horrendous
2/2.
growth, yes.
Yeah, so that would be it's 2 mana cards. You play anything above 2 mana while it's in your hand, it becomes a 2 mana 3/3,
Yeah.
2 mana 4/4,
Yeah.
and so on.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess your charge as a concept is going to depend on how good the corrupted cards
Yes, there are some very good ones, and the fact that you add them to your hand and they cost 0, I actually like. Some of the cards are insane value, and the Carnival Clown is one of them. Like,
Yeah, but you're not going to have the if they're not going to have the corrupted effect if you play them that turn.
no, they are corrupt. You add a corrupted. It's a corrupted
okay.
card. Yeah,
So they're already
yeah,
corrupted.
you get the corrupted mode from the
Okay.
Ushosh. So there are a lot. We'll talk about them as we go through the set review. But yeah, it is a powerful effect. It is kind of similar to like old Yogg, where you play it and you just like a bunch of shit happens.
Okay.
I think this is probably the best old god if I had to pick one. But again, we haven't really talked about all the other cards in this set, so it's hard to say without looking at the other ones. But
I'll give it a tentative 3.
I think a tentative like 3 is probably about correct. And maybe yeah, I don't think you could probably give it a 4. Maybe you could go to 4. Yeah.
I mean, it is a big card, and kind of big cards like this rarely.
But it's a big card that immediately has impact when it comes down. Is the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that's true.
okay. Speaking of big cards that immediately have impact when they
And
come
all
down.
the corrupted will hit. So
Yeah. Is the new Yogg. 10 mana 7/5. Yogg's Run Master of Fate.
what is the wheel of
So
Yogg?
if you cast 10 spells this game, spin the wheel of Yogg Saron. Okay, I will try to find a list of the Yogg Saron outcomes, but they are pretty fucking funny.
Okay.
Alright, so,
I have them up right now.
Yeah, so there's
You wanna
Curse
read
of
them all?
Flesh. Fill the board with random minions, then give yours Rush.
Okay.
Devouring Hunger. Destroy all other minions, and you add their attack and health to Yogg.
All right.
Hand of Fate. Fill your hand with random spells. They cost 0 this turn. Mind Flayer Goggles. Take control of 3 random enemy minions. And then Mystery Box. Cast a random spell for every spell you've cast this game.
So just original.
Targets
So, yeah.
so that's original Yogg. And then so each of those has a 19% chance of happening. And there's a 5% chance of Rod of Roasting happening, which is cast Pyroblast until a player dies.
Oh wow, that's good.
That's fun. Wow, isn't that a fun game?
Yeah.
That is such a fun game mechanic.
5%.
Grand Finals of the Hearthstone
I
Grandmasters
really
Tour.
hope that
A
this
man
card
plays
is not competitively viable.
Yogg Saron and gets Rod
I
of
hope
Roasting.
it is. Fuck Hearthstone.
John, we're doing a review.
Okay. I actually think Rod of Roasting is definitely the worst option out of all of these.
Yeah, 100%. Because this takes a lot of the like random aspects of original Yogg, but gives you kind of control over things.
Right.
So Curse of Flesh, you can determine how to trade. Devouring Hunger seems pretty bad.
Yes.
But Hand of Fate gives you control over how you play the spells.
That seems like the best one to me.
Yeah. I mean, Mind Flayer Goggles could be really good.
Yeah.
It depends on the context.
I mean, yeah, the issue with this is, like, old Yogg, you could count on it usually, before it got nerfed at least, to, it'd clear the board, it'd draw you a bunch of cards, it'd play some secrets, maybe it'd put some stuff on your board, but, like, you could count on it to clear the board generally. But, like, the issue with this one is, you play it, and you get, like, I don't know, you could get, like, I guess most of these clear, you could get, like, Curse of Flesh, and your minions are worse than theirs, and then you're kind of just like, fuck.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, I mean, you can get screwed on all of these.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty clear. Rod of Roasting especially.
I don't know. I think if you're playing a control deck that can reliably cast 10 spells, I think you probably do play this. It is like a very solid, like, end of the game finisher / way to clear the board. I
Yeah,
do not think
I mean,
this is a
it's
bad card.
No. But it will screw you. It's going to lose you games, and it's also going to win you games.
See, I don't even know if, like, yeah, playing it sometimes will lose you the game. It's actually less swingy than the original Yogg, I think.
Yeah, because I mean, what are you really worried about? I mean, Devouring Hunger can be bad, but you
Yeah,
just
the
don't
more I
play
think
if
about
you
it, actually, the
have
more I
board.
kind of like this card.
Well, that's the thing. It's less swingy. Like, it's not as
Yeah.
good.
I think this has less insta you win the game potential than original Yogg, but other
Well,
than
there's
Rod
a
of
5%
Roasting,
chance
yeah.
of.
But see, the thing with
game
Rod of
ending.
Roasting is usually you're playing Yogg when you're behind, so you're more likely to just kill yourself than kill your opponent. But
Yeah.
it's the Hail Mary, you know. Yeah, I don't know. I think this card actually will see play, in like a Druid deck that can reliably cast a bunch of spells, maybe like a slower Mage deck.
Yeah.
The issue is slower Mage deck does not really exist right now. I think this will see some play. I don't think it'll be like meta defining, but
Yeah, I certainly could see that.
I think it's another 3.
Yeah, I think it's just kind of in that space between 3 and 4, where it could be good, but
Yeah.
it depends if there's a deck that kind of really utilizes it well.
Yeah. All right. Next card. We've got N'Zoth, God of the Deep. This is my original favorite old god. It's a 10 mana 5/7. Battle
Can we talk
cry.
about the name real quick though? That's just such a lame name.
Kind
Like
of.
we know
yeah.
he's the god of the deep.
Yeah, it kind of is. Can I just say, I actually really love the flavor of this set. Like the fucking
Yeah.
fair. And this card doesn't really have anything to do with the fair, which kind of sucks. But
I mean, none of the old gods do.
no,
besides
Dogs are on
Yogg-Saron.
Master of Fate. He spins the wheel.
Yeah, besides Yogg,
Yeah.
but
Okay, N'Zoth, God of the Deep. 10 mana 5/7. Battlecry, resurrect a friendly minion of each minion type. This is a fucking cool card. It is
so by minion type they mean
like tribes. Like,
yeah, okay.
and it harkens back to like the Curator, one of my favorite cards
Yeah.
ever printed.
Not a very good one though.
The Curator is pretty good. But it was okay.
Yeah,
It was
there
more
are
okay than
places
pretty
for
good.
Yeah.
But, okay. So 10 mana. So just keep this card in mind when we review all the different like tribal cards in the set. If it has a tribe, it is probably relevant towards N'Zoth. And this set does have like a lot of like Paladin has a demon now, like stuff like that, where it is mostly relevant to N'Zoth. I ultimately think this is much worse than the original N'Zoth, like pretty clearly.
Yeah.
Just because
Death Rattles in general are better.
yeah, it's easier to put death rattles in your deck that are good, and also this is just so much weaker to just getting your board cleared after you play this, because I mean the
Yeah.
death rattles are generally pretty sticky, or they do something when they die, but most of the cards that are relevant to this card are not. So if you're playing a control deck with this as the finisher, but you're playing against another control deck, then you play this and then they like brawl you and then you lose the game. So I don't think this card is that great. It's probably like a 2, but it is a cool card.
Yeah. I think it's definitely a 2. It's probably not that good.
All right. Ready to move up to Demon Hunter?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Starting with the commons. All right, Fellscream Blast, 1 mana Demon Hunter spell with Lifesteal. Deal 1 damage to a minion and its neighbors. Okay.
I mean, it's a 1 mana spell.
It is a 1 mana
So-
spell, which is very relevant because Wand Maker is like a very important card in the meta right now. You can get this
I mean,
off Wand Maker, and the pool of Demon Hunter 1 mana spells is pretty small, so
It's a pretty good card.
it's just like, I don't know, no Demon Hunter deck wants like controlling like. This is not the type of spell that any Demon Hunter deck would run, you know, like Soul Demon Hunter.
The only Demon Hunter decks right now are really aggressive.
The best one is Soul Demon Hunter, which is like, it's an aggro deck, but it's not like a traditional aggro deck. It's like a burst deck. Yeah, there's no like slow Demon Hunter deck that would play this. Demon Hunter doesn't have access to spell damage really.
I guess Lifesteal is probably not that important.
So Lifesteal is generally not that important unless you use it with the new Demon Hunter Legendary, which
Okay.
I guess we'll talk about later. But even then, it's not that great. This is like
Yeah.
basically a copy of a Mage spell from a few sets ago that didn't have. It was the same card, it just didn't have Lifesteal. But Mage could support it because it had all the spell damage and everything and like cheap spell cycling. But Demon Hunter does not have that. I think this card is pretty bad. I give it like a 2, I think.
Okay.
Alright. Dreadlord's
Dreadlord's
Bite.
The latest Fiery War Axe.
Yeah. 3 mana, 3/2 weapon. Outcast, deal 1 to all enemies. It's a pretty simple card. I don't know. You would not play this in Soul Demon Hunter because you already have like 4+ weapons in the deck.
This does not seem as good as Demon Hunter's other weapons.
No, I don't think it is. So, I don't know. The thing is, it is just 6 damage for 3 mana. So if you're playing a deck that like doesn't care about putting Soul Fragments into your deck, it's
Sorry
like
about that, Jen.
straight up aggro Demon Hunter, you might play this. It is 3 mana, deal 7 damage, and if you like clear.
I mean,
off
look,
random
Fiery
ones-
War Axe is never going to be bad. It's just
Yeah.
that I don't think it's better than comparable cards.
Yes, I agree. I think this card is just the power level isn't quite there.
Yeah.
This
And
is
so how do
probably
we
like another
rate
2.
that? Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard to give it a 1 considering it's not terrible. It's just play it.
Okay. Acrobatics. Let's talk acrobatics. 3 mana, draw 2. If you play both this turn, draw 2 more. I mean, this card is fucking bonkers, isn't it? Like,
3 mana draw 2 is a solid card,
yes.
right? Like we'd rate that at least a 2 at this point.
Maybe not, but
Okay, I don't.
this card
draw
is
2
so good.
This does seem
It's just 3
extremely
mana
good.
draw 4. Like, you can't play it until like after turn 5 or 6 probably, but this is just 3 mana sprint, like after turn 5 or 6.
Where is this card?
Yeah, and if you like desperately need it earlier, you can play it earlier and just draw 2.
Yeah. This is so powerful, and you kind of need to build your deck like sort of around it. It wouldn't work in like the current Soul Demon Hunter build because you're playing a lot of like sort of expensive stuff. But if you're playing just straight up aggro Demon Hunter and you're playing like a bunch of 1-drops, stuff like Crimson Sigil Runner, which is like the 1 mana 1/1 outcast draw card.
Yeah.
Like, if you build your
If
deck
you're
around
playing,
this
like,
card,
If
it
you're
seems,
playing an aggressive Demon Hunter, you can conceivably draw off 8 cards in 1 turn.
yeah.
You have to have at least like 6 mana.
Yeah. I mean, but like Demon Hunter is not. It's not like the traditional aggro style where you like tempo control the board and then you like make a push for face damage after your board control. Like, you have enough burst where you can kind of just like face roll your opponent until they are low enough to like be dead to your like critical massive burst. And Acrobatics kind of supports that style as well, where you just play a bunch of cheap minions or like cheap burst.
Yeah.
Then you hit
This
him
card
in the
seems very
face,
good.
and then yeah. I think
Like, would you say this card is good if you drew 1 more card?
I think it would be good, not great. I don't know if
Yeah.
it would see play if it was only draw 1 more. But as it is draw 2 more, I think this is probably one of the best cards in the set. It kind of like Demon Hunter is probably the best class in the game right now, and I think this is probably a plus to their decks.
Think this will be a 5 or
The only obstacle I can see to this card is that Demon Hunter already has Skull of Gul'dan, which is probably the best card draw spell in the game.
But draw is good.
Draw
Like,
is good. And this does just cost 0 if you draw it from your Skull of Gul'dan.
which makes it even better.
Which makes it even better on the follow-up turn after your Skull of Gul'dan. So, yeah, I think this card will see a lot of play. I would not hesitate to give this card at least a 4, maybe a 5.
Yeah, let's put it down for 4 right now, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, this would be definitely, I think, if we're doing
I think
halves,
this card
this
is
would be
pretty
like 4.5.
insane.
The card seems very good.
Yeah. Alright. Next card, Line Hopper. It's a 3 mana 3/4, and your outcast cards cost 1 less. This is...
I mean, seems decent, but I don't know if Demon Hunter wants this.
Yes, I agree. The baseline of a spider tank is much worse now in 2020 than it was like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Um,
And it doesn't do
it
anything
doesn't do
immediately.
anything.
And Outcast is like not a bad mechanic, but
There's not enough like good outcast cards or like good cheap
Yeah.
outcast cards where you like really want to play this. Like, best case scenario, you play this on 3, then a 5 mana outcast card on 4.
you have to draw it or have it.
Yeah, and I don't know. I can't even think of any good 5 mana outcast cards. So
Yeah, it does not seem very reliable. It doesn't seem to have a reliable.
it just doesn't do
good
it. Yeah, no,
effect
this is
beyond
not
the
part of
3/4.
Demon Hunter's game plan. It's not like a bad
Yeah.
card. I think this is probably, you can put this down for a 1. I don't see this ever seeing play.
Yeah.
Okay. Redeem Pariah. 2 mana 2/3. After you play an outcast card, gain +1/+1. I mean, it's like the same thing as the last card, right? Like,
Yeah.
it is not. It's a fine card, but it doesn't fit with what Demon Hunter's trying to do.
Yeah, I mean it's a bit cheaper and it
Yeah, this
Yeah,
is
okay.
better than the other card. Maybe you
think
can
it's
give it
a 2,
2.
but
Yeah,
it's- it's
I
not
could
good.
maybe see where this sees some play, but yeah, like you curve this into like the Dreadlord's Bite in the next turn, maybe. You have like a 3/4, and then your weapon can kill stuff. Maybe. It's a maybe for me. Okay. Relentless Pursuit. It's a 3 mana spell. Give your hero +4 attack and immune this turn.
this just it's that warrior card. It's the same
Heroic
thing.
Strike, yeah.
Yeah.
Except you get immune.
Yeah.
I mean, this card is like a million times worse than Twin Slice.
Yeah. It just doesn't seem
Yeah,
that
Demon
good.
Hunter already has enough. Just like give your hero attack cards. And
Yeah, you can only play so many of those cards.
yeah, and while Demon Hunter has access to Eldrazi Warblades, I don't think the immune is that important.
No, I don't think it is.
Yeah, I think this card's bad.
Yeah.
Put it
Let's
down
say a
for
1 or
a
2.
1. Alright, Insatiable Fellhound. 3 mana, 2/5. It's a demon. With Taunt and Corrupt, gain +1/+1 and Lifesteal. I mean, this is another card that's just like, oh, this is like a good card, but like, what Demon Hunter deck do you play it in, right? Like,
Yeah.
no Demon Hunter deck. You play this in no Demon Hunter
It's
deck.
not that good.
It's not even good in like the big, like, cheat out big demons Demon Hunter decks. It's not a big demon. Like, it's good
No.
to not die, I guess. But most Demon Hunter decks don't really
isn't
care
worrying
about not dying.
not dying,
Yeah.
worrying about killing. Yeah.
I think it is just a good. It has just like good enough stats where you can probably give it a 2. I could see us maybe seeing play if a slow Demon Hunter exists, but
Yeah.
it's
Probably a good arena card.
Oh yeah, a lot of these are good arena. We haven't talked about arena at all, but yeah, this is a good arena card for sure.
All right.
Alright.
Now into Performer.
4 mana 3/3 rush. Death Rattle summon 2/1/1 assistance with taunt. It's just not good. Like, it doesn't do it.
You're getting a delayed 5/5 of stats for your 4 mana card. I mean, you're getting rush, but I don't know.
There are enough situations where like they don't even on turn 4 they don't even have anything that dies to this. Like,
Yeah. 3 mana doesn't kill slow in turn 4, yeah. I mean, it could, but
yeah, I think this just is not a high enough power level to ever see any play. I think this is definitely a 1.
yeah.
Alright. Throw Glaive. This is a pretty interesting card. It's a 1 mana spell, deal 2 damage to a minion. Then if it dies, add a temporary copy of this to your hand. So it's kind of like a weird
how temporary?
board
Wait,
clear.
how temporary is the copy? 1 turn?
It's 1 turn, yeah.
Okay.
It's kind of funky. Like, it's just kind of an awkward card. It has to kill the thing. And you would only play the... Like, it costs too much mana to chain it to play it on, like, a tempo or an aggressive deck. So it really only fits in a slower deck. I think in a slower deck, you'd rather just play a board clear, like Chaos Nova or something. So I think this is bad.
Yeah.
But, I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
I'm stupid. But
I mean, it's just, I don't think Demon Hunter's like usually that worried about. I mean, if it was like deal 2 damage if it kills a minion, then. I mean, the fact that it's just minions, I don't know, doesn't seem that good.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this card is that great.
This might just be a 1.
I think this
don't
is
know
also,
what
I
card-
think this is just
I don't know
a
how you use this card.
Alright. Bladed Lady. 6 mana, 6/6. It's a demon with rush. And if your hero has 6 or more attack, it costs 1 mana.
How often do you have 6 or more attack as a demon?
A
hunter?
lot. So often. This card is so good. Oh god. I am already like triggered looking at this card. Because
Yeah.
turn 4 you equip your Marrow Slicer.
Mhm.
And then turn 5 you play Twin Slice and then get a 1 mana 6/6 with rush to clear your opponent's board.
And then hit them in the face.
And then you hit them in the face for 6 damage with your Marrow Slicer. This just seems
That's
so
very good.
gross. Like,
That's very good and very annoying. Like, how do you play around your opponent doing something on turn 5 and then just throwing in a 6/6 rush?
yes. I don't know. I can think of a world where actually a 1 mana 6/6 rush is not powerful enough to play in Soul Demon Hunter because everything in that deck just hits you in the face for damage, and this doesn't immediately hit you in the face for damage.
Yeah, but I mean, rush is, I think, versatile enough.
Yeah,
that-
yeah, I agree.
I mean, worst case scenario, you're playing a 1 mana 6/6.
Yeah, this card is, I think, better than the 5 mana 6/4. If your hero attacked, deal 4 damage to something. I think this card is better than that card in a vacuum.
Yeah. And that card gets played.
That card, it's probably one of the worst cards in the deck, but it generally does get played in Soul Demon Hunter.
Yeah, I think this card's good.
Yeah, I think it'll find a place. If not in Soul Demon Hunter, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like an alternative aggressive Demon Hunter deck that plays like this with like Acrobatics
Yes.
and like other cheap
Yeah.
cards.
I think this probably is a 5.
This is probably a 5. I think this card is pretty busted. Maybe not busted.
I think in the current decks, I think it probably finds a place, and then there's probably more decks that will be
Yeah.
made because of this set.
How you doing, John? Alright. Alright, Felsteel Executioner. It's 3 mana 4/3 elemental. And if you corrupt it, it becomes a weapon. So instead it's a 4/3 weapon for 3 mana if it's corrupted. Cool design. I like the flavor on this
Yeah,
one.
that's intriguing.
How
good is it?
I think it's bad. I don't know.
Is the versatility useful? Like, is it at all useful to have a card that can be a 3 mana 4/3 or can be a weapon?
No, you would never just play a 4/3 on turn 3.
Yeah, I mean, you have minions to play and you have weapons to play.
Yeah, Yeah, Demon Hunter just has too many weapons, and the fact that it's not a weapon until you corrupt it, I think means this card is bad.
Yeah, it doesn't.
But it is just 3 mana deal 12. Like, if you look at it from that perspective. But it's not 3 mana deal 12 until like turn 5 or so.
Yeah, and also, I mean, it's 3 mana deal 12, but you can't use your other weapons with it.
Yeah. I think that Marrow Slicer and Eldrazi Warblades are just too good, then you would never play this card over those cards.
You can't play too many weapons. Yeah. And if you have weapons to play besides this, you're playing a 3 mana 4/3, which is not good.
Alright.
I think it's like a 2.
Like a 2 sounds good to me.
Yeah, but fun design.
Yeah. Alright, Expendable Performers. It's a 7 mana spell. Summon 7 1/1 Illidari with Rush. If they all die this turn, summon 7 more. And so, how it works, I actually looked this up beforehand. How it works is, you don't have to kill 7 of them. You just have to kill all the ones that get summoned. So if you have 2 minions on board and you play this and summon 5, and you kill all 5 of them, you still get the extra ones. Okay. So you don't have to kill all 7 of them. Which I think makes this card better, but... I mean,
it does.
Like, you don't play this card unless you're trying to combo it with, like, the fucking 3/1 that whenever something you play dies, you deal 3 to something.
This card seems good. I don't know if it's a good Demon Hunter
Right,
card.
Yeah. This is not... You don't play this in Aggro Demon Hunter. You don't play this in, like, a Big Demons Demon Hunter. You would play this in a deck that does not exist, and I don't think that.
I think the problem that we've seen with a lot of these cards is that Demon Hunter is a very, very good class right now, but it's kind of pigeonholed into a couple aggressive decks.
Yes, aggressive decks and fucking just like good tempo cards. That's the class.
Yeah, which is fine because they work, but I feel like they're putting these cards in that would work in a slower deck, and just there's nothing in the set that would mean that motivates you to play a slower Demon Hunter deck.
Yeah, I think this card's probably bad, but I mean, it is a good card. I just don't think it gets played.
Yeah, I mean, we could put it at like a 2.
Yeah.
I feel like a 3 would be generous on this card.
Yeah, I think like a 2 is fine.
Because I think this would see play in a slower Demon Hunter deck. It's just that doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys. I got my COVID test results back.
Are you positive?
Are you negative?
No, I'm negative.
That's good.
Okay.
Alright. Stealth Stepper. 3 mana 4/1. Battle Cry draw card. If you play it this turn, give your hero +4 attack this turn. This is kind of like the Stealth Stepper, or the Acrobatics.
We're talking about just the card art here. He's on straws. Like,
that's true.
Like that's a very nice design.
Jesus Christ, you guys aren't done with Demon Hunter yet?
No.
Oh my god.
It's been going pretty quick too.
All right.
All right. Well, let's go quicker then.
I like the art.
I think this card is good. I don't think you play this in Soul Demon Hunter though. This is definitely a card for like the aggro non-Soul Demon Hunter that also plays this with like Acrobatics and just plays like a bunch of cheap shit to cycle.
Yeah, I mean it does cycle. It motivates playing low-cost cards. 4 attack is not really ever bad.
Yeah, like even if you don't play the card, you just play this on turn 3. I mean, you don't want to, but it's just a 4/1 that draws a card. And if you think you're playing against a deck that can't like ping something, then just playing a 4/1 that draws a card on turn 3 is fine.
Yeah, I mean 4/1 can be very annoying if you're not a mage. Or druid. Yeah. Yeah, I think this is a solid 3.
Yeah, maybe like a 4 actually. I don't know. I think if Acrobatics sees play, then this also sees play.
Yeah, I think the problem is we're just not sure how the non-Souls Demon deck is going to develop.
Yeah.
I don't think this like makes that.
Yeah,
deck.
this doesn't make the deck, but it's a good supporting piece.
Just play it in the deck.
Yeah, it's burst. It's card draw.
We don't have any other 3s besides the any other 3s in Demon Hunter so far.
Sounds good. All right.
Illiganoth.
4 mana 2/6 with lifesteal, and your lifesteal damages the enemy hero instead of healing you. Holy
Oof.
shit, dude.
Just
This
double
seems-
damage.
Seems
Or if you hit
bad.
minions, it also hits them.
I think this is just, like, really, really good.
You think this is good?
Yes. Have you seen a
Okay.
card called Eldrazi Warblades, Jamie?
It does have lifesteal.
So you play that, and you play this on turn 4, and your Eldrazi Warblades now hits for 4 damage. But then, you have Twin Slices, you have, like, Soul Shard Lapidary.
Ugh.
Like, Eldrazi Warblades is already, like, one of the best cards in the best deck in the game. And this just turns that into, sometimes you just hit your opponent for, like, 20 damage in one turn. And it has to stick, but, like, it's a 2/6. Like, it'll stick a turn most times. I don't know, like...
I honestly don't know if it will. I don't know what's going on in Hearthstone.
I mean, it is a 2/6, but
It's slow, but you guys have to understand that Demon Hunter is not like a traditional... Like, the good Demon Hunter deck is not like a traditional aggro deck. Like, you're just trying to draw a bunch of cards and, like, build up, like, 30 burst damage in your hand and just, like, kill your opponent. Instead, as opposed to just, like, tempoing them out.
yeah.
And
Okay. I mean, I guess I can see this being good.
I don't think it's, like, great, but I think it has, like, insane high roll potential. And you have to, like, sort of... Not necessarily tailor your deck around it, but you have to, like, change how you build your deck up a little bit. As opposed to, like, the default Soul Demon Hunter, but... I don't know, man. Like, it just seems so dirty to play as Eldrazi Warblades, and you, like, play Twin Slices or, like, Chaos Strikes or whatever, and just, like,
I
fuck
don't
your
know, because
opponent
like,
up.
Why don't we just see
this
what
card
Shred
this card
said?
seems very good if you have Eldrazi Warblades on 3 and this on 4.
Yeah, and if you
Like,
don't, it's
insane.
obvious. But even then, like, it's still just, like... It's a 4-mana 2/6 that also deals 2 extra damage when you hit something. Like, it's not, like, bad. Like, your opponent... If your
Yeah.
opponent trades into this with 2 minions, you also just hit them for 4 damage.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess every point damage matters for Demon Hunter as well.
I don't think
can
it's,
see
like,
it being
great,
a-
great, but I think it will see play. So I guess, like, a 3 is fair, but... I don't know. I also already own this card, so I hope it's good. I got it in my,
Okay.
like... Fucking Battle Pass already.
Alright, let's finish off Demon Hunter.
Zai the Incredible, 5 mana 5/3, battlecry, copy the left and right most cards in your hand. I think this is bad.
What does that mean? Copy it and put it into your hand?
Yeah. I think the copies go all the way to the far right of your hand. They don't get copied in the outcast spots. Or I guess one of them gets copied into an outcast spot. So obviously you, like, play with, like, cheap outcast cards like a Twin Slice or whatever, and then you get more of them. I think this is, like, slightly worse than just drawing more cards.
Yeah, this just seems unreliable.
Yeah, it just seems kind of slow. I don't think you play
And
this.
kind of clunky
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I think this is like
This
a
feels
1
pretty
or
clunky.
2.
I give it like a 2. I think maybe if you're playing a slow Demon Hunter deck that really cares about the win con or something, you just, like, want to get it into far left so you can copy it, you get another win con. But I don't know, it doesn't seem that good. Alright.
Let's go on to Druid.
Druid.
No, every other class has less than Demon Hunter.
Yes.
Should go a little faster.
Yeah, that is the case. Alright. We'll start with Fair Arborist. It's a 3 mana 2/2, and you choose one, you draw a card, or you summon a 2/2 treant. Or if you corrupt it, you do both. And, you know, I think this is an apt card name, because this card seems very fair.
Yeah.
In a game that is not very fair.
Yeah.
You have to spend at least 7 mana.
Like, I don't know, like a 3 mana 2/2 draw card is like, it's fine, but it's not good. A 3 mana get 2 2/2s is fine, but the deck that would care most about that is some sort of like Treant synergy deck, but one of these isn't a Treant.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to corrupt it to do both. I don't know. It's like a fine card. It's like an arena card. I don't think this has like the baseline power level to see play. I could be like wrong about that, and like just the consistency it provides is worth playing it in Druid decks, but I don't really see it.
I think it's a solid 2.
Yeah,
It's like
2 sounds good.
I don't know.
Alright, I'm excited for these cards. Solar Eclipse and Lunar Eclipse.
Great concept, great art. Let's just get that up.
Oh yeah. 3 mana 2/2 or 2 mana spell. Solar Eclipse. Your next spell this turn casts twice. And it pairs pretty well with Lunar Eclipse, which is a 2 mana spell. Deal 3 damage to a minion, and your next spell this turn costs 2 less. I think we start with Lunar Eclipse. I think this is just like a generally applicable, just generally good card.
Yeah.
It reminds
It's
me
good at
of
many stages of the game.
Yeah, it reminds me of Bog Beam, which is basically just 0 mana, deal 3 damage to a minion at a certain point in the game, and this is the same.
Yeah, that's good.
I think the more exciting one, though, and it's definitely lower floor, higher ceiling one, is the Solar Eclipse.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one card from this set that really sticks out that this could be insane with, and that's the Cenarian Ward.
Oh, yeah.
The 8 mana spell, gain 8 armor and summon a random nature up.
Mm-hmm.
On turn 10, you play the Solar Eclipse, and you could even play the Lunar Eclipse and then the Solar Eclipse and then the Cenarian Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then you get 16 armor and 2 8-drops. Ultimately, so the issue with Solar Eclipse is that it actually just doesn't do anything for a large portion of the game. But when it does something, it is pretty crazy.
Yeah. Does Druid have any other crazy high roll spells to compare with?
It has, like, Nourish. Would be good. It has, like... You could play it with, like, a Malagos turn with, like, a swipe or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes.
It's not, like, all that flexible. But, like, you're playing it in a deck that obviously can use it. I just don't know if that deck exists. Oh, you can play with Guardian Animals, too.
Mm-hmm.
Which, it's not really a Guardian Animals deck right now, but it could come back theoretically, I guess.
Yeah, I think this card... do you want to do Lunar Eclipse first?
Lunar Eclipse just seems very solid. I think this card's at least a 3, maybe a 4. It's just, like...
I think a solid 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a good Hearthstone card.
And then Solar Eclipse...
I don't think it's that good.
Which one?
Lunar Eclipse.
How come?
I mean Solar Eclipse, excuse me.
Solar Eclipse. Yeah.
It's literally do nothing to card.
Unless it does something crazy.
Unless, yeah.
I mean, yeah, Druid is the kind of deck where you can just draw, like, almost your entire deck in, like, 8 turns, and then you just play this with, like, you win the game. So...
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay.
If there's a class that can make this work, it probably is Druid.
Or like
I'm gonna be honest, I think this is a 3 for, like, the opposite reasons of Lunar Eclipse.
Yeah, it's just a huge high roll as opposed to just a very solid card throughout
I think
the game.
the variance on this card is, like, there's no really downside. It's just... It could be great. Versus Lunar Eclipse is just very consistent.
Yeah. Alright. Umbral Owl. It's a 7 mana 4/4 with Rush. It's a beast, and it costs 1 less for each spell you've cast this game. This card's fine. I don't know. Cards that can possibly cost 0 mana are usually not bad.
But it is also a 4/4 Rush, which is not super high impact.
Yes. I mean, you compare it to, like, Arcane Giant. This card is probably worse than Arcane Giant. But Arcane Giant saw a ton of play. That was, like, an easy 5-star card, so...
Yeah.
It's also a beast if you want to play it with N'Zoth. It comes back with N'Zoth. It's kind of relevant.
With Rush, too, yeah.
I don't know. I just don't...
Yeah.
You're not going to be casting 7 spells, though.
No, you are.
Yeah, you're not
you
getting this
are.
card out early.
I mean, it's not going to be
just
0 mana, but it's going to be, like, cheap. I think the question is whether this is worth playing alongside your... I think it's called a Nubisath Defender. It's the 5 mana 3/5 taunt, and if you cast a 5 or more cost spell this turn, it costs 0. I don't know if you can play both of those in the same deck.
Yeah.
But, like, Druid is playing enough spells. I mean, their decks are, like, 20 plus spells generally, where...
But is this good enough to be one of the 10?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think this is like a 2.
I think the power level is just a little too low. I'd say it's like a 2,
Yeah.
but I would not be surprised if this will play.
Yeah.
Alright. Moon Touched Amulet. It's a 3 mana Druid spell. Give your hero +4 attack this turn, and you can corrupt it to also gain 6 armor. I don't know. It's not bad.
You know, I like the idea of this card. It's just that 4 attack isn't the biggest starting point, and 6 armor's not that great either.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me of, I think it's called Feral Rage. The choose one, you either gain +4 attack or gain 8 armor. And that card's a lot of play,
rarely need
actually.
both.
That card was, like... It was never, like, stood out as a great card, but it actually saw play in, like, almost every Druid deck while it was in Standard.
Yeah, but that was how many years ago?
Yeah, that was, like, 3-4 years ago.
Yeah, I don't think...
I think this card's a little bit worse than that card, and also everything is just better now, so I think this probably won't see any play, but...
Yeah, you want to give it a 2, or just 1?
2. Yeah, 2 sounds good. I think this conceivably could see play, but is it 2? Alright.
Fizzy Elemental, which is another great card concept and design.
It's a 9 mana 10/10 elemental with Rush and Taunt. This is very simple, but I think it's also just like... I think this is really good. Like, it's not
Rush and Taunt are pretty good.
Yeah, they're both good against aggressive decks. They're good to help you stabilize.
Do you guys remember that? I think it was from TGT. That nine. I think it was a 9-mana legendary. It was a 9-mana 10/10
Yeah, with
charge,
Rush.
can attack heroes. Yeah.
Yeah, Ice Howl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it couldn't attack heroes like permanently. I think.
I think that's true.
Yeah.
This is just way better than that.
This really says a lot about our society.
About our Hearthstone society. Yeah. And also, that was like a Yeti. This is just a soda spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah. This card seems pretty good.
This card does seem good, and Druid can cheat shit out. It can ramp. You can probably play this on like turn 6.
Yeah, that's very
And
good.
it comes back with N'Zoth if you're playing N'Zoth in your deck.
Yes.
I mean, these are the cards that are good with N'Zoth. The cards that have like immediate impact, even if your board immediately gets cleared afterward. Like
A 10-mana, like a 10/10 taunt rush. That's just, it does things.
it does things, yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
think it's like a.
is
solid
it
four.
unfair enough?
Yeah, I think Druid can ramp and cheat stuff out where it. I mean, this card in itself isn't unfair, but the stuff that gets this stuff out early is unfair enough where you can play this. There is like a ramp Druid deck in the meta. Like big ramp Druid is like sort of a deck right now.
Yeah, this is extremely good against aggro, and it's not terrible in other matchups either.
I wouldn't say it's extremely good, but it is definitely. It's good enough against like mid-range decks where you can play it against aggro as well. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is probably like a 3 or a 4. I don't know if it's
I
like.
give it 3.
Yeah, 3 sounds about. This is a good card though.
It's like a high 3.
Yeah. Alright.
Alright.
Cenarian Ward. I already talked about this one a little bit. It's an 8-mana spell, gain 8 armor, and summon a random 8 drop. On its own, it's really not a great card. It's like Moonglade Portal,
Yeah.
but it's 2020, and Moonglade Portal is probably not good anymore.
No.
But like, yeah, if you can copy the Solar Eclipse, this is like one of the best things to do it with.
But is this card good enough to play by itself? Or is it good enough with Solar Eclipse's effect that you play the...
I mean, just playing it in your deck, it's not like a good card, but if turn 8 comes around and you have nothing else to do, like, you're not unhappy to play this card.
Yeah.
But, like, you're playing this to, like, ramp into. You're playing this... If you're... If Druid has a deck that, like, pulls minions out of their deck, this is a good way to generate threats without having minions in your deck.
Yeah, that's true. Do you think this is better than Physio Elemental?
No. I don't think so.
Do you think it's substantially worse?
I don't think it's substantial. I think it is worse, though. I think it's probably like a 2. I could maybe see it seeing play, but I'd be a little bit surprised to see it see play. But
I think it might see some.
yeah, it's not like flashy, but it does the job, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this is probably... If Physio Elemental was a high 3, like, it feels bad to give this the same score, but I feel like this is probably like a low 3.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, yeah. I give it a 3. Okay.
Guess the weight.
Guess the weight. 2 mana. Draw a card. Guess if your next card costs more or less to draw it. I mean...
2 mana, 50/50, draw 2 cards.
Yeah, this is
It's
2
probably not gonna
mana.
be 50/50.
It's closer to draw 2 cards than it is to draw 1 card. It's like 2 mana, draw like 1 2/3 cards.
Yeah, I feel like you'll hit on this most of the time.
Yeah.
But when you don't, you just play
It does
2
feel
mana
pretty
draw
bad.
card.
Druid has enough card draw where I don't think you really need this.
Yeah.
But I don't know, if you're playing like a more aggressive spell-based deck, where you're like a token generation deck, you might want this because it is cheaper card draw as opposed to like... I don't know, the card to compare this to is like Fungal Fortunes, which is like the 3 mana draw 3 and then discard all the minions you drew.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're playing a deck that has minions that you want to draw, I guess you would definitely rather play this than Fungal Fortunes. I don't know, it seems like a little clunky.
I think it's
just a solid 2.
Yeah.
yeah.
Alright. Kiri, Chosen
Another
of Elune.
crazy card art just right here.
Yeah. 4 mana 2/2. Battle Cry, add a Solar Eclipse and a Lunar Eclipse to your hand.
Oh, so disappointing.
This card is so slow.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, the upside of this card is you don't have to put Solar Eclipses into your deck.
But you have to put this card into
You
your
have to
deck.
put this card into your deck instead.
Is that better?
I don't know.
This
I
card is
don't
not
know.
good.
It's just so slow. Like, it is 4 mana do nothing until at least next turn.
Yeah, I feel like you would rather just play a card that does something. More,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I don't think this sees play.
I think this is like a 2 or 1.
I think this might be a 1.
Okay,
Yep.
let's just move on then.
All right. Gray. Is this gray bow or gray bow or gray like buff? Jamie, you're
Y'all are
I think it's a gray bow.
gray bow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Jacob, I got my
Y'all are-
COVID test results back, dude.
Oh,
Negative.
and that's good.
All right. So gray bow. It's a 5 mana 4/6.
We're cleaning up from the ball.
I'm gonna get you, Jacob.
How'd it
I'm
go?
sorry, buddy.
It went well.
Okay. So it's a 5 mana
Was anyone
4/6
there?
with taunt and death rattle. Give a random friendly minion death rattle summon gray bow. If you're playing this in a deck that can support that like always has dudes around, this kind of seems insane, right? Like
We're doing
Oh,
a
we're-
site review right now.
yes.
Doing better than that.
We're reviewing cards.
Yes. that is what's
I mean,
happening.
so
I'm playing
It's just-
zombies.
it's kind of tricky because I feel like Druid normally plays more big things, and for this to be really good, you need more small things.
Alright.
I mean, yeah, there isn't necessarily like an aggressive druid deck right now, but even in like a mid-rangier druid, I don't know. I don't think
starting
a
to
deck
really go to really
exists
bad.
currently to support this, but a 5 mana 4/6 taunt is baseline not so bad that you would like be disappointed just playing this on an empty board. And you can play this and then play something afterward to proc the death rattle on too. Like it's a little tough to like get the train rolling, but once you do so, even if you're only getting one extra 4/6, this is like better than Cairn.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, it's another card where like you need to have a deck that does not currently exist. But like most of the best decks in the game right now did not exist
sold on
last
this card.
expansion.
Like this card has like high upside if it finds the right spot, but I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I
how.
agree.
If this was like a paladin card, it'd be nuts.
Yeah.
But
I don't know,
As
like
it
a
is,
2
it
sound
is.
good.
Yeah.
Alright.
all right.
We move to Hunter.
Oh boy,
Jamie's your favorite.
Dancing Cobra.
Dancing Cobra. 2 mana 1/5 beast, corrupt, gain poisonous. I think this sucks. I
Yeah.
think this is just a
Why
1.
would Hunter
I don't
ever want
see
to play
play.
this?
Yeah.
This is probably good for like control hunter decks.
No. You just have better stuff to do, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can play this on turn 4 at least, and yeah, I don't think this is good. Okay.
At that point, there's probably a decent way to deal with this.
I think this is a 1.
Yes.
Okay. Open the cages. New Hunter secret. When your turn starts, if you control 2 minions, summon an animal companion. I actually like this card a lot. And
Yeah, that seems good.
the reason being is that this is a secret that you have more control over than most secrets, where there's some cards like Petting Zoo, which we'll talk about in a little bit, where you actually are rewarded for your secrets not proccing like early.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a lot of like agency over that with this
Yeah,
card.
no, that's definitely relevant, and it helps you with your bow management as well.
Yeah.
And your there's another card I'm thinking of too. I don't remember, but yeah, having control over secrets is useful.
Yeah, and there's enough like random secret synergy floating around with like Phase Stalker, which is like already one of the best hunter cards in the game.
Yes.
But the secrets to support it are like not that great. Like you kind of just play secrets for the Phase Stalker as opposed to just playing the secrets because they're good.
Yes.
But this secret
And this
seems
seems
good
like a
enough
decent
to
secret.
play this instead
Yeah.
of like Pressure Blade.
Yeah.
And this just
I'm not
helps your
a huge fan
like
of Pressure.
tempo aggro game plan. Yeah, I think this is really good.
Yeah. I think this is at least a 4.
I would say it's like a 4. Yeah, I like this card a lot. Speaking of cards that are at least a 4, Mystery Winner is a 1 mana 1/1 Battlecry Discovery secret. I mean, it's not like Flash or anything, but this is insane, right?
Yeah. I mean, like. Yeah, this is useful at multiple stages of the game,
Yeah.
which is what you want out of your 1-drops.
Yeah, I mean, just like the baseline of a 1 mana 1/1 that generates you a card somehow has like always been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of cards like that in the meta right now that are well played.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is just. I would not be surprised
Yeah,
if it's just like auto include in every hunter deck, honestly. And
Yeah.
I think a card that
Those
is
hunter
auto
decks
include in
need
every
one
hunter
drops.
deck is probably a 5. So
Yeah.
I don't know. This is at least a 4. I think you could argue giving it a 5 as well.
Okay, we can do that.
All right. Trampling Rhino. It's a 5-mana 5/5 rush. After this attacks and kills a minion, excess damage hits the enemy. It literally has trample if you play Magic.
Wow.
And it's a beast.
Trample much?
I mean, this is like fine. I don't know. It's not like this is only really stands out. I think when you can somehow buff it in your hand with like Scavenger's
Yeah,
Ingenuity.
because Hunter just rarely is a 5-mana 5/5 going to be killing and doing a lot of excess damage. Hunter is usually at disadvantage in terms of stats.
Yeah.
Unless you can buff it up.
I think this plays really well with Scavenger's Ingenuity. But
Yes, obviously.
I don't know. I don't think the baseline is powerful enough. Like for 5 mana, you want to be like directly killing your opponent. I think.
And this is indirectly killing your opponent.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's like.
I think the deck that this would fit in right now is like Reno Hunter, but with that, you don't want to like pollute your curve, so your polk out still works well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just don't quite see it.
I think it's
quite
2.
2 sounds good. All right. Darkmoon Tonk. 7 mana, 8/5. It's a mech, which is relevant. Death Rattle fire 4 missiles at random enemies that deal 2 damage each. And, okay, this card is obviously meant to be played with the new legendary, so let's talk about that a little bit too. It's Maxima Blastenheimer. 6 mana, 4/4 with Battlecry, summon a minion from your deck, and attacks the enemy hero, then dies.
Yeah.
Do you think this Tonk card is good enough to just be played independent of the legendary?
I mean...
It is just like a big thing that does a bunch of damage. Like...
Yeah, but I think if you don't have board control, right, there's a decent chance that you're not doing much damage to their face.
Yes, that is true.
And an 8/5 is not a great stat line.
No, it is not.
And for 7 mana, like, I don't know. I feel like a lot of times you're going to play this, your opponent is going to flood the board, kill this, and it doesn't do much.
Yes, that sounds...
So I think independent of the legendary, no, it probably doesn't get played much.
Yeah, I don't think legendary is very good either, so this probably doesn't see much play. And you think about, for 7 mana in Hunter, you could just be summoning King Crush. Like...
Yes, that card is... Yeah. These are not comparable.
These are not.
I think this is like a 2 at the
2
best.
sounds good to me.
Hey, if it didn't have the synergy with the legendary, it'd definitely be a 1.
Alright.
Petting Zoo.
Petting Zoo. 3 mana, summon a 3/3 Strider, repeat for each secret you control. It's the return of the fucking Spellstone that, like, fucked everybody for 2 months.
That was fun. Yeah.
What happened?
This card seems decent. Decent to good.
Yeah, it plays really well to open the cages. If there is a more secret-based Hunter with the Mystery Winner and the Open the Cages, and there's a couple neutral cards that you could play in the deck as well. I think this is really good.
Yeah.
It's more you high roll as a 3 mana 6/6 on turn 3, hopefully. And if you don't do that, the card is more good than great. But if you just play this as 3 mana 6/6 on turn 3, it is probably like one of the best cards in your deck.
Yeah. The issue with this card is that you're probably going to get at least 1/3/3, right? Like you're not gonna be in a situation where you can never play this.
No, it summons a 3/3 baseline.
Okay, I misread that.
Oh, never mind. Actually, it's a lot better.
Yeah.
It's here you control those issues. So if you play a secret and immediately gets procced, then it does not benefit you. But
Yeah, with Hunter, this seems like a card that can help you if you're ahead, and that is relevant for Hunter because Hunter can get ahead.
I mean, you're usually ahead on turn 3 as Hunter. Like,
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying past turn 3.
yeah,
Like I could conceive you playing this on turn 4 as well.
yeah.
Which is not mana efficient, but if it gets you 9/9 with the stats, that's pretty nuts.
Yeah. I think this is good. I don't know if it's great. I don't think it'll like make a deck, but you definitely play it in like the secret Tempo Hunter deck. Yeah, it's probably like a 3.
I think it's between a 3 and a 4.
Yeah,
So.
between 3 and 4
Over the
sounds
3.
about right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Jewel of N'Zoth, 8 mana spell. Summon 3 friendly Death Rattle minions that died this game. Has there ever been a good slow Hunter deck in the history of Hearthstone?
So if we're excluding my Reno control deck, then no.
Yeah, and you would only play this in a slow Hunter deck. It is kind of cool. If you only play like Darkmoon Tonks, and you get 3 big Death Rattles, including Darkmoon Tonks. So it seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, I think this is the same as Demon Hunter. It's not a terrible card, but it's not.
No, yeah, this won't see any play.
I think it's a 1.
Yeah. Don't feed the animals. 2 mana, give all beasts in your hand +1/+1, or you corrupt and give them +2/+2 instead. I think this is also really bad. Like,
Yeah.
It's so
even
awkward, the
corrupted,
mana.
which you wouldn't play as until turn 4. You don't want to be playing hand buffs on turn 4. Okay? I played enough hand buff Paladin where you do not want to be playing your hand buffs on turn 4.
Yeah, no, the mana is just too awkward. On
It also
this.
only hits beasts, so you can't even play it in like. There's like a lot of synergy that don't even work because they're not beasts.
Yeah, I think this is a 1.
This is a 1. All right. Talked a little about Maximum Blassenheimer already. I think the issue with this card is that you can, if you're playing it, it's a build around card, so you can only play cards that work well with. You can't just play like random 1-drops or anything, like the Mystery Winner that you would want to normally play in your deck. You have to only be playing Darkmoon Tonks and other like big death rattles.
But it doesn't win you the game.
No, if you play this with like a Scrapyard Colossus, it probably wins you the game. But like, you have to build your deck around it, and sometimes it's a legendary, so you might just not draw it, and you just build your deck around a card that you're not drawing, and the upside's like good, but not great. I do not think this card will see any play. I'm gonna be honest.
I agree.
I would say this is probably a 1.
I think it's a 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Rinling's Rifle. It's a 4-mana 2/2 legendary weapon. After hero attacks, discover a secret and cast it.
has negative synergy with bow,
That's true. Yes.
which is relevant because bow is still
This
one
card
of
is
the
actually
cards.
like really powerful. Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
know.
it is.
Play
It's
it
kind of
first.
awkward.
It is
but
a
I
little
think
awkward.
the power level is there.
I think you compare this to like the Mage card, the 4-mana 2/2 discover a secret and cast it. I mean, a 2/2 weapon is better than a 2/2. And that card saw a good, decent amount of play. And Hunter Secrets are more like tempo-y. I don't know. It's obviously like not. It's not gonna win you a game, but it just makes your deck like better to play it. I think. You don't play it in like a Face Hunter deck though. Is the issue, and Face Hunter's probably the best Hunter deck right now.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's some decent Secret Hunter cards in this.
Yeah. I think you probably do play this in the Secret Hunter deck. Again, it has anti-synergy with your bows though, is the issue.
Yeah, but I mean, you can play bow later as well, and you're definitely you play this on turn 4 and then you attack twice immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's decent.
I think it's like a 3. I definitely don't think it's like bad.
Yeah, I think it's a solid 3.
Yeah. Okay.
Hunter has some good cards and some bad cards.
Yes.
Right.
All right.
Going to Mage.
We move to Mage. Game Master is a 2-mana 2/3. The first creature you play each turn costs 1 mana. I think this is bad.
Yeah.
This is just worse than Kirintor Mage, right?
Yeah, you play this on turn 2, and then what do you get? You get a 1-mana secret on turn 3, and then you have to find something else to do with your other 2 mana?
Yeah,
Like,
or you play it on turn 3 and you get a 2/3 and a secret, but Kirintor Mage gives you a 4/3 and a secret. I think this is
Yeah.
pretty bad.
I think this is bad. I think
Okay.
it's like
Firework
1 or
Elemental.
2.
It's a 5-mana 3/5. Battlecry, deal 3 damage to a minion, and you corrupt to deal 12 instead. Okay, when I first read this, I missed the 2 a minion part. I was like, what the holy shit, but no.
So basically, deal 3, corrupt, kill it.
Yeah.
I mean,
For
Could
a
be
5
good.
3/5.
5
There's an
mana.
elemental as well.
It is an elemental,
Five,
and there is like a
good.
pretty strong elemental sub-theme in Mage. I don't know. Just don't think this does. It just doesn't really get there, you know.
It's fire elemental, but better.
Fire Elemental is like
Yeah.
bad in 2020 though.
Also, Fire Elemental's a 6/5.
Yeah, Fire Elemental can't
so
go face
3/5.
also, which is pretty relevant.
That is true.
I don't know.
I think this is bad, yeah. Mage does not lack in removal.
Yes, that is very true as well.
There's no point of this card, I don't think. I think it's like a 1. I think it might be a 1.
Yeah, it's probably. I don't think it's low play. Okay. Confection Cyclone. It's a 2-mana 3/2 elemental. With Battlecry, add 2 1/2 sugar elementals to your hand. Oh baby, Firefly's back. This card is actually just much better than Firefly. I think this card seems really, really good.
And Firefly was very good.
Yeah. I mean, this card is obviously like very clearly meant to be played with Grand Finale, which is the 8-mana spell, summon an 8/8 elemental, and then you repeat for each elemental you played this last turn.
Yeah, this card seems very good.
That card is not good.
I mean, if the Confection Cyclone is good, I think Grand Finale is good.
Okay.
But like, yeah, the issue is like the best mage deck right now is like the. It's called Tempo Mage, but it's not a Tempo deck. It's like the Spell Mage.
Yeah. This doesn't
And
really
I don't
have
think
synergy with
this
spells.
fits the. It has synergy in the sense that it always gives you something to do, which is an issue with that mage deck. Is something that your cards just don't do anything, and this
Yeah.
will fill your curve.
But the issue nowadays is that even if you put a bunch of dudes on board, you have to do something else to make it unfair because they could just destroy all your shit.
I mean, the rest of your deck is unfair though. Like that deck is inherently unfair, and this just fills out your curve. I don't know if that's good enough, but like. There is something to be said for just because again, like you've played the mage deck, right, John? Where sometimes your cards just sit in your hand and you're just like waiting for a big cyclone turn, and your cards just don't do anything.
Yeah.
And this is something for you to do. I don't know. I just don't know if the base on is like power. Again, if there is an elemental mage deck, this is just the best card in the deck, and you always want this in your opener. But I don't think there will be an elemental mage deck. There are some good neutral cards to support it, but
I mean, I think this might be a 3. It's a strong card.
it is a very strong card. This is another one that just shell might not be there to support it though.
I think a 3 is fair.
3 is fair, yeah. Alright, Mask of Cthulhu. It's a 7-mana spell. Deal 10 damage randomly split among all enemies. I mean, this sucks, right? Like,
Yeah, this is bad.
it is pretty nuts to get off your puzzle box, though.
Yeah, but like it just doesn't,
I guess.
and it doesn't synergize well with spell damage either.
Yeah, no, this is not a good card, but it is. It
I
does.
think-
It is actually so. It kind of sucks, but it is so relevant for cards to be good off random generation and mage, and this is a pretty good card to randomly generate, I think.
But we can't judge that,
Yeah.
so I think we just give it a 1.
Yeah. All right, grand finale. We talked about it a little bit.
I think this is a repeated Confection Cyclone. Like if that elemental deck is good, this card's very.
I mean,
good.
yeah, I think this card almost makes the elemental deck, right? Like,
Yeah. But how good is that deck gonna be?
my instinct says not good.
Yeah.
Give it a 2, maybe.
This is such a hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a hard card to rate because
Yeah.
it has a chance to make a deck.
Even if you
But-
only play one elemental, you get 16/16 for 8 mana, which... The issue is none of it has taunt or rush or anything. It doesn't immediately impact the board. I don't know. Yeah, it's not good enough to make the deck work by itself. The deck has to be good for it to be good. Alright. Ring Toss. What great card art, man. It's a 4-mana spell. Discover Secret and cast 3, corrupt to discover 2 instead.
It's just worse than the Hunter Legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
This is
card is
bad.
not
This
good.
is bad. I mean, Mage Secrets are better than Hunter Secrets, but yeah, this is not a good card. It's just not. It's just too slow.
Is this just a 1 or 2?
Like, you play this in Secret Mage, but Secret Mage is a pretty tempo-y deck, and this is just not. It's just too slow.
Yeah, it's not even a dude.
Yeah, I think this is the one.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay, let's move on.
Rigged Fair Game. It's a new Mage Secret. If you didn't take any damage during your opponent's turn, draw 3 cards. Okay.
So this like you have this on the board until you don't take damage and then you draw 3 cards.
Yes. I think this is really good. It has really good synergy with the next card, Occult Conjurer, which rewards you for having a secret in play that doesn't get procced immediately.
Yeah.
It also plays really well with Flame Ward, since if your opponent thinks you have Flame Ward up, they're not going to attack you. They don't want their board to get cleared, and if they don't attack you, just draw 3 cards.
Yeah, this card seems good.
And it
And
also,
also with all the freeze effects that Mage has as well, like that's not terribly hard to proc.
yeah, it plays really well in like a tempo Secret Mage deck, where you like the big issue with that deck is you run out of cards, and that's why
Yeah.
Olunith is one of the best cards ever printed, because it just makes that deck work by itself.
This card seems like a very solid Mage Secret.
Yeah, I agree.
Everything about it works well. I think it's like a 4.
I think it's like a 4. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay. I think 4 says it will universally see play in most mage decks, which I don't think is true. I think you'd have to be playing a Secret Synergy deck for it to be good, so it's probably closer to a 3. And I don't know if that deck's going to be good.
You wouldn't play this in Tempo Mage?
I wouldn't play this in the Tempo Mage deck. I don't know. It just doesn't do enough. Maybe you do.
Recall,
I actually
like-
don't know. I actually don't know. Maybe you do play this in the Tempo Mage deck.
I think this has enough potential.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's
I think
fair.
it should be a 4.
Alright. And Occult Conjure, 4 mana 4/4. If you control a secret, summon a copy of this. Similar to the
We'll
Rigged
see.
Fair game. I think the power level is so high where if you're playing the secret based deck, this is one of the best cards in that deck.
Yes. I'd like to point out the card art would be substantially better if the eyes were not like anime proportions.
I don't know. It's good. I don't think it's so good that it makes the deck, though. It's another one of these cards, like the Grand Finale.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, if you play the Rigged Fair game on turn 3, and then you just... Or, like, Kieran Tor into a Rigged Fair game, and then you play this on turn 4, then you have
Some
12
crazy
attack
high
on
level
board.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
The more I think about it, actually, this card seems really good.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. I'm a wild player primarily, so Secret Mage is a fucking terrifying deck. Like, this is almost good
This
enough for
card-
the wild version of the deck, I think, which says something.
Yeah.
It's probably
I
like a
think
4
this
as
is-
well, I think.
That's fair.
Alright, can you take over for a sec, Jamie? I gotta run to the bathroom.
All right. Sage
Okay.
Seer of Darkmoon. Sean, we're breaking this down. 6 mana 5/5. Battle Cry. Draw 1 card. Upgraded for each friendly secret that is triggered in this game. Upgraded, I presume, means you get another card.
Yeah, I would assume. I mean, how many secrets on average are you gonna proc?
So if you're playing this on turn 6, I think realistically, 2 is probably the most it's going to have procced. So this is somewhere between 6 mana 5/5, draw 1 to draw 3.
Eh. I mean, it's good. Like, drawing cards is good. But Hearthstone is a stupid game. Hey, you know what? I don't know.
You know what? Hang on. We need Ian for this one. Can we just skip the Deck of Lunacy? Because I feel like we can review that card.
Transfer spells in your deck into ones that cost 3 more. I like this card
This
already.
card's so much fun.
And it can fit into the 30 legendary deck, so...
Yes.
Actually, well, it wouldn't do anything.
Talking about Deck
it
of
would not
Lunacy.
do that. Yeah, we kind of skipped Sage because we figured you might want to say something
Okay.
about that.
Deck of Lunacy is a meme.
Yes.
I
That's
do not
why
think
we
you
were
can play this in
reviewing
an actual deck, but it is probably one of the funniest cards ever printed.
So should I just give it the meme rating?
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay. Back to Sage. We're thinking 6 mana 5/5, draw 1 at least. Realistically, on turn 6, you're not going to have more than 2 secrets triggered. But 6 mana 5/5, draw 3 is very good. The question is, how good is 6 mana 5/5, draw 2?
6 mana 5/5 draw 2 is probably bad, but 6 mana draw 3 is good. It's not like
Yeah.
great though. But again, like the issue with the Secret Mage deck is it just runs out of fuel so fast. And I don't know, like in the mid game this draws you your burst. This draws you more like Kieran Tor mages or whatever with secrets.
It seems decent.
Yeah, again, doesn't make the deck, but it is a good addition. It's probably like a 3.
Alright, move on to Paladin.
Paladin. I'm excited for the Paladin cards in this set. This is pretty hype. Alright. Red Scale Dragon Tamer. It's a 2 mana 2/3 Murloc with Death Rattle draw a dragon. There's a surprising amount of just like actually just good dragons in Paladin.
There's a lot of good dragons in general.
Yeah, there's the 5 mana 4/6 heal 8. There's the 2 mana 2/3 life or 3 mana 2/3 lifesteal discover a dragon. Notably, if you're playing this in a Reno deck, there's Alexstrasza, which is really good.
Alexstrasza is a very good card.
Oh my god, Sebastian.
What?
Next time we go into the Minecraft server, you need to immediately teleport me. Immediately.
Alright.
Okay, I actually think this card is like baseline pretty good. Like a 2/3 death, it's a 2/3 loot hoarder. If you're playing dragons in your, I think if you're playing dragons in your deck, you almost just play this.
Yeah, definitely.
And it has good synergy with like the N'Zoth like menagerie style of deck.
Yeah.
I don't know if this card will be good, but I'll definitely try this card. I think it works really well in like this style of mid-range like menagerie deck. And this is like one of the best cards in that deck, I think. Just a 2-drop that draws a card.
It's a solid 3.
Yeah. Alright, Carousel Griffin. It's a 5 mana 5/5 mech with Divine Shield. You can corrupt it to turn into an 8/8 with Divine Shield and Taunt. It's a little slow, I think. Because you don't corrupt it until turn 7. And on turn 7, you get a 5 mana 8/8 with Divine Shield and Taunt. But
No, corrupt is you have to play something higher cost than it for it, right?
yeah, so you don't play something higher cost until turn 6, and you play this on turn 7.
Yeah. Okay.
It is a bit slow,
It is.
but it is
slow.
also a big card, and it's a mech.
It is a big mech. That is true. Notably, though, when you play with N'Zoth, it doesn't come back as a Divine Shield taunt. It just comes back as the 5/5 Divine Shield. With that being said, though, there are no mechs in Paladin, basically. So this would be the only thing, if you want to put mechs in your deck to resurrect them with N'Zoth, that you would play.
Is it worth it, though?
I don't think so. I don't think this is play.
So either. I think this is maybe a 2.
Yeah, sure.
Not a terrible card, but probably not.
Alright. Day at the Fair.
No.
It's a 3 mana spell. Summon 3 Silverhand Recruits, or you corrupt it to summon 5 instead. Ooh.
Ready for action.
God, I fucking love this card. I don't know if it's good, but, you know,
I mean, it doesn't feel as good as Muster, but
No, obviously. Obviously.
Muster was one of the better cards. That's
But,
been made
I
in
mean,
this
you
game.
look at it with a couple of the cards that are also in this set. Oh, man, there's so much. The Silverhand Recruit, like, support in this set is so good.
This card's probably gonna be good then.
Yeah, I agree. I think you definitely play this in the Silverhand Recruit, like, mid-range Paladin deck. And it's, like, one of the engines in that deck, I think.
Yeah.
Because I don't think
How
there's
reliably
just
can you
straight up
corrupt it?
Silverhand Recruit generation in Standard right now.
So I guess you're thinking on this card is you play it on turn 3 just for 3, and then if you can corrupt it later.
I think
you
you usually are just playing this on turn 3, but like later in the game, this is even better than that, I think. And like you just play this on turn 3 and curve it into the Balloon Merchant. That seems like pretty nuts.
No, I think this is good.
I think this is a good card. I don't think it's great or anything, but it is like. I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of Silverhand Recruit synergy in this deck, but without the generation, the deck is never going to work. So this is like a very important card in that deck.
So I mean, do we give it a 4 off of that?
No,
or
no,
just
I think it's
3
probably
off
like a
of the
3,
base?
but
Yeah.
it's like not that powerful
Very
of a card.
solid.
It's just like an engine in the deck, though.
Alright.
Alright. Snack Run. 2 mana spell, discover a spell, restore health to your hero equal to its cost. Wasn't there a card that just does this on a minion already?
Oh,
It's the Karazhan card, right?
yeah, no, I think it's a TGT card. The Tortolin?
No, that's the 5 mana 5/5.
Oh,
that,
you think
that
Ivory
jousts and
Knight.
heals. No, yeah, there's the chess piece card in Karazhan.
Ivory
that already
Knight.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, that was Karazhan.
That card was like
Knight.
okay. It was like good in slow paladin decks, but
It was a 6 mana 4/4, if I think.
yeah. I think slow paladin decks are generally not that good. And
Yeah.
the fact that that card was attached to a body made it a lot better, I think.
Yeah, and you weren't playing it early game anyway, so.
I don't really think this card is good enough to see a bunch of play.
I think
It
it's
is
probably
heal,
two.
and paladin is actually... No, actually no. If slow paladin decks will play the Labrum package, and they'll play the Labrum of Hope. That'll heal you a bunch and get a guy. And this is much worse than that. Although it could discover you another one, though, which I guess is sort of relevant. I mean, yeah, the 2 paladin decks right now are pure Labrum Paladin and non-pure Labrum Paladin. I don't think you played this in either of those decks. And I don't think you play this in the Silverhand deck. And I don't think you just play this
Yeah.
in straight up pure Paladin either.
I think it's a.
Probably
I
not
think
a
it's
1. But yeah, it's probably a 2.
Yeah. Okay.
Alright, Carnival Barker. 3 mana 3/2. Whenever you summon a 1 health minion, give it +1/+2. And it's summoned, so it works with your hero power.
It turns your Silverhand Recruits into 2/3s.
Yeah. The fact that this is a 3/2 as opposed to a 3/3 like Steward of Darkshire means it is definitely worse than that card.
That card was pretty good, though.
That card was pretty good. And I think this card is close enough to that card where it will probably see play in the Silverhand deck.
+1/+2 is that better than Divine Shield?
Probably not. Because like the thing with Divine Shield is it makes it like resistant to board clears, like,
Yeah.
and this does not really make it resistant to board clears. It still dies to 3 damage board clears.
Yeah. Yeah. I think this is a solid 3 as well.
Solid 3 sounds good to me.
Like, it could be pretty good, but it's not gonna.
Another card that
Change
won't
the
make
game.
the deck yet. Okay, this card could make the deck though. Balloon Merchant. It's a 4 mana 3/5, and it gives your Silverhand Recruits +1 attack and Divine Shield.
Yeah.
Oh man.
turning 1/1s into 2/1 Divine Shield is pretty big.
Yeah, that's huge.
And it's got a decent body attached to it too.
Yeah, for sure. It's not quite as good as Quartermaster, but I mean, Quartermaster's an insane card.
Yeah.
Um,
And it's not like it can help get 2 Quartermaster as well if your Generation's on 3 and Quartermaster's on 5.
Quartermaster not standard anymore, but
Right, I knew that.
I think this is probably, if you're playing the Silver Hand Recruit deck, this is probably the best card in the deck.
Yeah.
Like in Wild, when I'm playing Odd Paladin, like I think Quartermaster is generally the best card in my deck. And this is your Quartermaster. This is like your reason to play the deck. This is your reason to fill your board, you know?
Mm-hmm.
This is probably like a 4, I think. I actually do think there will be like a mid-rangey Silver Hand Recruit Paladin. Maybe that's just wishful thinking on my part, since that is like one of my favorite decks ever, but...
Yeah, I think it's fair. I think a 4 is fair.
Alright. Let's talk about Oh My Yogg. It's a 1-mana secret.
It's so... I want to call this a meme card, but knowing Hearthstone, it might not be.
Yeah, it's a 1-mana secret. When your opponent casts a spell, they instead cast a random one of the same cost.
Does the... is the target random as well?
Yeah, so it's a random targeted spell. Am I crazy for thinking this card is actually really good?
They could be insane. The problem is it's so inconsistent.
Yeah. It's like a tech card, basically, right? Like,
yeah.
if there's decks that either have a bunch of... It's not even decks that have a bunch of spells. It's decks that have a certain amount of very important spells to their game plan.
Yeah.
This is like crazy disruption.
Is this good against Libram Paladin?
Libram Paladin has enough like random spells playing around where it probably isn't. It's probably more a tech card against like control decks, where they play their board, or you play this to protect your like board from a board clear, and instead of board clearing, they like fucking shoot themselves with a fireball or something. Like,
Yeah.
It's like board clear protection / disruption, with like sort of insane high roll potential. I mean, the issue is it worth a card's like, is it worth a slot in your deck when it does not add anything to your
I
game
think
plan?
in certain matchups it can be. I think it's a very good tech card.
Yeah, I agree.
How do we rate that though?
I don't know, like a 2.
Okay.
Really? I give it a 3.
Yeah, like a 3 maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this is just meta dependent. I don't know if the meta is going to be conducive to this card, but if it is, this is like a great card. Alright.
Another great card art here. Hammer of the Naru.
Hammer of the Naru. It's a 6-mana 3/3 weapon. Battlecry, summon a 6/6 Holy Elemental with Taunt.
Okay, so basically just summon a, like 6/6 for 6. Give yourself a 3/3 weapon.
Yes.
Kind of.
I mean, this is just good, right? Like,
Yeah, there's just power on this card.
it's a 3/3 weapon, which is worth like 3 mana. And
a 6/6.
and a 6/6, which is worth
at
like
least 3 mana.
yeah, more than 3 mana.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this is like nuts in like a mid-range Paladin deck. You actually probably don't play this in like Libram Paladin, which is the current Paladin deck, but yeah, this is
Yeah,
good
that
enough where
seems
you just
good.
play this in any mid-range deck or a control deck probably. And it's an elemental, so it comes back with N'Zoth. Although your Libram of Hopes also come back with N'Zoth, so
Yeah.
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 No, this card is just good enough where like there's not many cards in Hearthstone in the current day that are just basically stats that are good enough to play, but this is basically just stats, and I think this is good enough to play.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Okay.
I don't know. Am I
think
crazy
this
to think this
is
is like a 4? Like, it's just good.
I think it's a low 4,
Yeah,
but
okay.
yeah, I think a 4 could be fair.
Alright.
Alright.
High Exarch Urel. It's an 8-mana 7/5. Battlecry for deck has no neutral cards. Gain Rush, Life Steal, Taunt, Divine Shield. I mean, like, Pure Paladin's already a deck, and you just play this in Pure Paladin. Like,
I mean, card is good.
card is good.
Yeah.
And it's not like there's any complicated deck building with it. Pure Paladin exists, and you put this into it.
Yeah, you just throw it in.
Yeah, I mean, so you're not getting charge, but you probably don't need that.
You get rush.
Yeah, Rush.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it's good.
Card is just good.
I think it's a solid 4.
And it's like a 4.
Yeah, like it's going to be very obnoxious to have someone play this on
Pure
turn
Paladin already has, like, obnoxious healing, and this is just more of that. Okay.
Yeah.
Alright. Lithraxion the Redeemed is a 5-mana 5/5 demon. And for the rest of the game, after you summon a Silver Hand Recruit, give it Divine Shield.
Okay.
This is cool. It's like...
I
It's
like
a really
it.
cool card. I don't know how good
Well,
it
it's
is
a
though.
demon too.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a demon, so it comes back with N'Zoth. I don't know.
It just
I
seems
don't
a
even know
little
if you play this in
slow.
Silverhand Recruit deck. Yeah, it's just slow.
Yeah, it's a nice idea. It's just I think Divine Shield is not enough of a game changer that late into the
It
game.
could be.
It could be. No, it could. Divine Shield. Well, actually, late in the game, Divine Shield actually gets better because it just gives your board protection from board clears.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Like, it is just really slow, and I don't like the Silverhand Recruit deck will be more of a mid range deck than an aggro deck. So this could see play, but
I think it's like a 2.
I think it's maybe like I think you do play this in the mid range Silverhand Recruit.
I think it's a 3.
Isn't it like a 3? Yeah, I actually think you do play it because as you go into the late game,
Yeah, this card could be crazy, dude.
like it just makes your hero power so much better. Assuming you're playing stuff that can buff Silverhand Recruits. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think you're underrating how much better a 1/1 Divine Shield is than a 1/1. Like,
And then how it can get buffed.
right? Yeah, you play you like hero power plus like Hand of a Doll turns your a 3/3 Divine Shield is much better than a 3/3. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it does make Balloon Merchant less good.
On the offhand,
That's
do you guys
true.
know any great single player games that I should get?
you should get some Assassin's Creed. I actually really like the new Assassin's Creed games. They're like more RPG than Assassin-y, but they're fun, and they're like 60 hours each, so it's a lot of time to kill.
Okay.
And if you wait
You
till a
get
Steam sale,
cold
they're
or
probably
play
hella cheap.
zombies by yourself.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I don't think this card is great. It doesn't make the deck, but I think you probably do play it on the deck, so it's probably like a 3.
I think it's a fair 3. Yeah.
All right, we move to Priest. I'm surprised they haven't deleted this class from the game yet, to be honest.
I hate priests.
Yeah, let's go through this quick, guys.
Probably
Alright.
part of the reason I don't want to play Hearthstone.
All right, Insight. It's a 2-mana spell, draw a minion, and you corrupt, reduce its cost by 2. Kind of an interesting card. You're playing this in like the big Priest deck, so that you
get
corrupt
your
it,
card
and
one
then
turn
you
earlier.
draw like a 9-drop, but your 9-drop turns into a 7-drop, so you play it way earlier. It's kind of clunky though. I don't know if you actually. I think you would rather just be like clearing your opponent's board than doing this.
Yeah.
Wow, they changed my cards.
Yeah.
I think this is like
Do I disenchant them?
Yeah. 2-mana disenchant your opponent's deck. That's Priest. Okay.
I think this is like a 2.
Yeah, like a 2 seems fair.
Not
Oh,
terrible.
no, I'm
but-
talking about in Mage, my Mage deck. They changed my fucking cards.
Oh yeah, they nerfed Evocation.
Should I disenchant it?
No, Evocation's still really good.
I won't even get full dust for it. So
Oh, you do? Oh yeah, well definitely don't then. Okay.
Wow, that sucks.
Fairground Fool. 3-mana 4/3 taunt, corrupt game plus 4 health. A 4/7 taunt for 3 is pretty good. Now, if you think about it as a 4/7 taunt for 3, but only after turn 5, it's a little less appealing, but
And a 3-mana 4/3 taunt is
it's
not that
quite
good.
bad.
It's just thoroughly mediocre.
Seems like
It's an arena card.
I don't even. It might not. I don't know. There might be a deck that wants this. So it's probably like a 2, but I don't really see it.
Yeah. All right, move on.
Okay, this is an arena card. 5-mana 3/3 taunt. It's a mech, I guess, but against +1/+1 reach spell in your hand. Even if you have like 5 spells in your hand. Okay, if you have 5 spells, okay. If you have 5 spells in your hand, this is an 8/8 with taunt. If you have like 2 or 3 spells in your hand, where it is like the most common occurrence, this is just like not playable.
This is a solid 2 as well, I think.
Might be a 1. I don't think this will ever see play.
Okay.
All right.
Bloodweaver.
I like the art on Fortune Teller.
Yeah, dude. All right.
Different, yeah. I don't know. Is this a man or a woman on the Bloodweaver?
I think a woman.
He's not wearing very many clothes.
Nismani Bloodweaver. It's a 3-mana
That's a
2/5
woman.
minion. After you cast a spell, reduce the cost of a random card in your hand by 1. Kind of a
Okay.
neat card.
I don't think I was gonna play it.
Yeah, like it's a 2/5, so it'll probably stick around for a turn. I don't know.
Okay, you get like 2.
You get like 2 cost reductions. I don't know, John. If you remember our last card review when we said all the studies cards were bad, and they all turned out to be really good.
Okay.
Like,
But this card is just do nothing.
just like randomly, incidentally reducing the cost of a card by 1 is actually like much more powerful than we thought it was. Like,
I don't think this is terrible.
I don't think it's terrible for sure. I don't think it's good either, but I think there might be like priests are just playing spells generally. Like,
yeah,
you're like randomly generating spells with like Septic Veil Weaver, Renew, and you're like removing your. Even if you, I don't know, it's probably not good enough if you're only reducing one thing, but if you're reducing 2 things, it's like pretty solid.
Yeah, I think this is like decent. I think it's better than the first 2 cards.
Yes, I agree. This is more likely to see play than any of the commons. I don't know if it's a 3 though. This feels like a high 2.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Auspicious Spirits. 4 mana, summon a random 4-cost minion. Corrupt, summon a 7-cost minion instead. I don't know. This seems kind of useless to me. Like, even after you corrupt it, you get a random 7-drop. And I'm pretty sure 7-drops are pretty bad. And
this is too unreliable.
yeah. Yeah, what
I think
deck
it's a
plays
2.
this?
I
mean,
I think this is a 1. I don't think this will ever see play.
Okay.
I'd say 2.
Yeah, like, if you think about the corrupt cards as you can't play these until after turn 6 if you want to corrupt them.
Mm-hmm.
And like, a random 7-drop is probably worth about 6 mana.
Yeah, you can't play it until turn 6.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, not after.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's a 1. We move on.
Yeah. There's just better things to do, which we will soon see. All right.
All right.
Palm Reading. Discover a spell. 3 mana spell. Discover a spell. Reduce the cost of spells in your hand by 1. This is probably better than the Nosmani Bloodweaver.
Does this proc after you get the spell?
Yeah.
So you get a spell with the reduced cost.
Yeah. So it's kind of like Nature Studies and Druid in that sense. I don't know.
It's pretty slow.
It is slow,
But if
for
Priest
sure.
isn't dying on turn 3, then
Yeah, if you think about it like this, it makes your Soul Mirror cost 1 less. It makes like your Plague of Death cost. It makes your board clears cost 1 less. So you're trading a turn of doing nothing for a turn of stabilizing 1 turn earlier.
yeah, I think this is decent.
It seems good to me, honestly.
Yeah.
This is, I don't know. You probably don't play this in the same deck as the Nosmani Bloodweavers. The Nosmani Bloodweaver is probably bad because this card exists.
Yeah, I think this is a 3.
Yeah, it's like a 3. I can see this being a good amount of play. Alright. Oh boy, more cards for my favorite deck ever. Fucking Big Priest. Alright. Idol of Yasharj is an 8-mana spell. Summon a 10/10 copy of a minion in your deck. Ew.
I mean, there's some dumb shit you could do with this.
There's a lot of dumb shit you could do with this.
The next card just makes this.
Yes. That is what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Or you
no.
play this and you get Archmage Vargoth, and the Archmage Vargoth casts another one for free. And this gets like cost reduced by the pawn reading that is a Monty Bloodweaver. I don't know, man. If there's a standard Big Priest deck, this is one of the more important cards in it, I think.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't exist.
I think the next card is good enough where it probably will exist in some form, which kind of sucks because
Yes.
I really fucking hate this deck.
Yes.
I say it's like a 3.
This is why I don't play this game.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
Literally
next one is
priest.
not going to be a 3 though.
Okay. Blood of Goon is a 9-mana 8/8. It has Taunt. It's also an elemental, which might be relevant. At the end of your turn, summon a 5/5 copy of a minion in your deck.
So compare
This
it
is just
to
good, right?
What's the guy in Warrior? The guy that makes 3/3s.
Oh, Troublemaker?
Troublemaker. I think Troublemaker's better than this card
Troublemaker is a pretty
It's-
bonkers card.
in certain ways, but being in Priest, this card is probably, I don't know, just probably crazy.
Yeah, you're never paying 9 mana for this card, which is what makes it.
Yeah.
Like, there's I forget what set it's from, but there's a spell. It's a 6-mana spell that summons a 5/5 copy of a minion in your deck. And that card was extremely playable.
And that was 6 mana.
And that was 6 mana. This is a 3-mana 8/8 with taunts.
And you can pull this out.
Yes, you can pull out it's a copy, so you can pull out. It doesn't even pull it out of your deck. It pulls out a copy of it, which
Yeah.
then pulls out a copy of something else.
Yeah.
It seems
Yeah.
so degenerate.
This seems extremely degenerate. You can cycle this ridiculously.
You can get, like, what's it called? The Reborn Heal 3 guy. I forget what it's called.
This is very good.
The 6-mana taunt. The 3... I can't believe I forgot what it's called. The 6-mana 3/4 Reborn Death Rattle Heal 3. This is, like, really good with that. Archmage Vargoth is really good with it. I'm sure Priest has some, like, stupid big taunts, like the Bone Dragon that's really good with it. There's just gonna be... This is good enough to make the big Priest deck work, I think.
I think this was one of the best cards we've...
Probably one of the best cards on the set.
If not the best card we've looked at so far.
Is it a 5? I don't know if it's a 5, because I don't know if the deck is going to be, like, really good. But it makes the deck at least exist.
I think if this is not a 5, what is?
Okay, sure. Let's give it a 5.
Yeah.
Alright. Gahoon, the Blood God.
I like the art.
8/8. Yeah. Battlecry, draw
Like-
2 cards. They cost health instead of mana. This kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Why did they make the Blood of Gahoon so good and the Gahoon the Blood God so bad?
Yeah. I'm trying to think, would this card be good if it were 8 mana, 8/8, draw 2 cards, and they cost 0 mana? Like, it'd be pretty good, but it wouldn't be, like, busted.
Yeah.
And this is cost health instead. This card sucks. This is like a 1. No, this will never get played.
I think it's like a 2. Like,
But, like, okay, so
conceivably, it could help you with your board.
Control Priest wouldn't play this because you don't want to be killing yourself. And, like, there is sort of, like, a Tempo Priest, but you wouldn't play this because it's an 8-drop. Like,
Yeah.
I don't... You'd only play this on, like, some sort of mid-rangey Priest deck, which, like, has never existed.
Okay, I'll give it a 1.
I'm a little bit harsher on legendaries because legendaries are, like, expected to see play, you know? Like, if this were a common, I wouldn't give it a 1, but this is a legendary. Alright.
Alright, the other legendary also doesn't seem very good.
Really? The nameless one? 4 mana 4/4, choose a minion, become a 4/4 copy of it, then silence it. This seems insane to me.
How? Wait, what are you silencing? The original minion or the copy?
You silence the original minion. So you...
Okay.
So let's say
That's
they
different.
have, like... For example, if they have, like a Sludge Belcher, you silence their Sludge Belcher, then this turns into a 4/4 Death Rattle get taunt with Death Rattle get a 1/2 taunt.
Okay, that makes more sense. Otherwise, it would have just been a 4 mana 4/4.
Yeah, I think there's enough random shit around that you just want to silence. And there just, like, isn't really a good silence in Standard for Priest to play, where you just play this in, like, most Priest decks. I think it's just generally good enough to play.
No, this is good. This is good.
There's just not that many silence effects either.
I give it a 4.
This seems like a 4 to me. It's flavorful as well to give it a 4.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a good card.
Yeah, I did not read that correctly.
Alright, move to Rogue. Foxy Fraud is a 2 mana 3/2. Battlecry, your next combo card this turn costs 2 less. This just seems insane, doesn't
So
it?
much
This
more
seems
to
so
go.
good. Right?
Yeah, it just wow.
Yeah.
This
is basically a 0 mana 3/2.
Yeah, you can play something. This is so good on turn 2.
It's really good with the next card, Swindle.
Could you imagine putting that in the vanilla set?
Yeah.
God.
Is this card good enough to make fucking this is
Yeah,
our
turn
town
Turn 2
scrub?
Foxy Fraud.
Yeah, I was about to ask. Like, this is
Draw
insane
2.
with the Defias, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, this card's insane.
This is like a 4.
At least a 4. The thing to consider is that, like, there's actually not that many combo cards that see play in, like, current Rogue decks.
But this could make them good.
Yeah. Like, you don't, like, SI7 Agent is not good enough to see play currently, but with this card it probably is.
Yeah. I mean, it is only this turn, but, like, if you have a coin, then you could
Yeah.
conceivably turn 2, play this coin to SI.
Yeah. No, I think this card is very clearly very good. That's probably like a 4.
Let's give it a 4, yeah.
Okay. Swindle. This card is great with Foxy Fraud. It's a 2 mana spell,
Yes.
and you draw a spell, and combo you draw a minion. I mean, this is better than just drawing cards, because you have a general idea of what you're going to draw.
And it's really good with Foxy Fraud
Yeah,
on
exactly.
turn 2.
This is another 4.
I think there's another 4, yeah.
Bonkers.
This just seems like a really solid card.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet Tooth. 2 mana, 3/2, corrupt game +2 attack and stealth. Okay, this card sucks. They had to make up for the other 2 commons by making one that is just obviously
this is
not
such
good.
garbage. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
this
is just
one.
like is this anything better than a 1?
No. You would never play this over like the Scorpion that deals 2 damage.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, this card sucks.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Ticketmaster is a 3 mana 4/3, Death Rattle. Shuffle 3 tickets into your deck, and when drawn, you summon a 3/3. My first instinct is this is probably bad, but
I always like the cards, like the cards that summon from the deck.
Yeah.
Like when they were doing the ambushes, if you remember that.
yeah. There was a card
But-
sort of recently. I think it was a 4 mana 4/4 that Battlecry shuffled 3 ambushes into your deck, and I actually think that card saw like a decent amount of play. But this card is worse than that card.
Yeah, I think it's just like a 2.
2 sounds about right.
It's kind of a fun card. I feel like it'll be very good in arena, but well, that's a different issue.
Alright. Prize Plunderer. 1 mana 2/1 Pirate. Combo. Deal 1 damage to a minion for each other card you've played this turn.
What's up, man?
I think you think of this more as like a removal spell than a guy. Right, like... It's not a very good removal spell either.
Yeah,
What's up?
it just does not seem worth a card slot to be.
Yeah, I don't think so. This is like a 2, I guess.
And talk to me.
Alright. Shadow Clone. It's a 2 mana secret.
Jungle Fever, I'm still in the States.
After a minion attacks your hero, summon a copy of it with stealth. I don't know.
Yeah.
This seems bad.
Yeah,
Like, it's only good if your opponent only has 1 like decent sized minion.
What?
Like if they just incidentally have random 1/1s, then this kind of sucks.
very easy to play around.
Yeah, and also like if they have an 8/8 that you want to copy,
What
like
happened?
you get an 8/8, but you also just get hit by an 8/8. Like, it's not a good card.
This is 1.
I think this is a 1.
Fuck no.
Alright. Cloak of Shadows. It's a 3
Oh
mana spell.
man.
Give your hero stealth for 1 turn. I mean,
You stop smoking.
if you play this in Combo Rogue, tell me when I can unmute, John.
Tell Matt.
If you play this in Combo Rogue, this is like an ice block, sort of.
Yeah, but like, not a secret.
Yes. Okay, so the Paladin spell that did basically the same thing as this was like sort of playable, but you only played it in like straight up hard combo decks.
Does Rogue have that?
I don't think so. Maybe they will with like Cthulhu or something. Maybe you play like a Cthulhu deck where you need to get to your Cthulhu turn, so you play this before Cthulhu. So I think I can really think of. I don't know. It's just like a little too situational, a little too clunky. And for most of the game, it just sits your hand as nothing. So
I think it's a 2.
yeah, like a 2 sounds about right. All right. Malevolent Strike. It's 5 mana, destroy a minion, and it costs 1 less for each card in your deck that didn't start there. Okay. I think there's a very obvious synergy between this card and Cthulhu. While you have like the Cthulhu card in your deck, this is a 1 mana destroy a minion.
Yeah, but is it reliable enough?
I think you play this in the Cthulhu deck. I don't know if the Cthulhu deck is going to exist, though. It's the issue.
Yeah.
And I don't think you play this anywhere except that.
Yeah, I'd like a 2.
I mean, if there is a class that can support Cthulhu, I think it probably is Rogue. Just because they have this, which is a great removal spell. And they also have the 5 mana 4/4 that when you play it, it draws 2 cards from your deck that didn't start there. So it just draws your Cthulhu cards. So I think if the class could support Cthulhu, it probably is Rogue. But, like... I don't know. I don't think Cthulhu's going to see any play, so I don't... By extension, I think this probably also does not see much play.
All right.
Yeah, like a 2, I guess. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Grand Empress Shekzara.
Don't make me do that.
Battle Cry. Discover a card in your deck and draw all copies of them at 6 mana 5/7. Again, I think this is good in like the Cthulhu deck. You discover a card. You discover Cthulhu, hopefully. That's what you're trying to get.
Yeah.
Or the Cthulhu like activators. Or just like Ticketmaster, if you're playing that, then you get all your plush bears. But the issue is it's like inconsistent, right? Even if you have 3 tickets in your deck, you're only discovering 3 cards that are like 20 cards in your deck. You might just not hit it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This seems pretty bad. It's just like slow. And
It's very inconsistent, but I could see this being good. It's just I don't know how.
it's 6 mana though. Like I don't know. Your 6 mana card has to like almost win you the game in Rogue. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like a 2.
Yeah, like a 2 sounds good. All right. Tenwu of the Red Smoke. 2 mana 3/2. Battle cry. Return a friendly minion to your hand. It costs 1 this turn. It's kind of like Shadow Step, I guess. On Battle Cry.
Karma.
Like
Jacob.
it just seems like clunky, you know.
He's probably fucking getting decked on.
Yeah.
Like I think this is worse than Shadow Step for sure. But the issue with Shadow Step is a really, really good card, and you might just want another like similar effect to that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The more I think about it, actually, this seems pretty solid. Just because, like, the current Rogue builds, they're like value tempo decks where you're just trying to like generate a bunch of cards from like Wand Thieves and Lackeys and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And you have like some battle cries like the Togwaggle that kind of just win you the game, and this bounces it back, and you get to recast it for 1 this turn. Like this is, if you're bouncing stuff that costs 3 or more mana, this is just better than Shadow Step.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's a solid card.
I think this is actually quite good. The more I think about it, just because it slots into existing decks so well. And it's not like great, it's not like super flashy, but it is just a very strong effect. This is like a 4 probably. It seems pretty solid to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
God,
We move to Shaman. And Shaman sucks right now. And if you think about it, Shaman has either always been the best class in the game or it sucked.
Yes.
And right now it sucks. So Storm Strike. It's a 3 mana spell. Deal 3 damage to a minion, give your hero +3 attack this turn. I mean, just baseline power level. This card is like very powerful. For 3 mana, you sort of deal 6 damage.
Yeah.
And like one of the sub themes of Shaman is like your hero attacking, which is kind of weird. Shaman's never had that before, really.
Oh, they have with
I mean, Rockbiter. But,
Doomhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a 3 mana is pretty like congested for Paladin. Like you have Serpent Shrine Portal, which is kind of what you like. That is a very good 3-drop spell. You have like the Hammer that's coming up that you probably want to be playing on 3. There's a lot of stuff you want to be doing for 3 mana that this is probably worse than. But this card is just like so flexible. I could definitely see it just being like almost auto include in Paladin as like you just play this as pretty good removal, and sometimes it's burst, and sometimes you have Wind Fury on your hero and you just deal 10 damage with it.
Yeah.
I think this is probably good. I don't think it's great, but it's probably 3.
It is 3 damage to a minion though. But
yeah, if you have Wind Fury on your hero, then it is 10 damage to their face likely.
no, because it's 3 damage to a minion.
No, but it gives your hero +3 attack. It is.
Yeah, but Wind Fury is times 2, so that's 6.
No, but if you have Wind Fury, you have it either +2 attack and Wind Fury with Inara, or you have a Doomhammer on.
Right. Okay.
This is probably like a high 3, I would say. I think this will see a lot of play, but it won't be like a great card.
Okay.
Alright. Revolve. It's a 1 mana spell, and you transform all minions into random ones with the same cost. I want to hear what you think about this card, Jamie.
It's kind of a funny card. I mean, you play this when you don't have board control.
Yes.
And you fuck up the opponent's board.
It is a true combination of evolve and devolve. And
yes.
both of those cards were like 5-star cards.
Yes.
And this is kind of both of them on one card for 1 mana. My first instinct is this card is so flexible that it is really, really good. And it's never going to be, insane for you, unlike Evolve or Devolve, where sometimes it insta-wins you the game. But the fact that this card can do both of them for 1 mana, I think makes it insanely good.
Yeah, at the same time, though, it's not really doing either of them effectively. Like, it's not completely getting rid of your opponent's board, and it's not swinging your board.
I mean, yeah, partially, it is sort of meta-dependent on how much, buffs / strong taunts and death rattles are part of the meta. And right now they are generally, Libra and Paladin is, one of the most played decks right now. So this is kind of dead in some matchups, but, in some matchups it does just, sort of win you the game. But Devolve has always been like that, you only play Devolve if the meta supports it, and this will be similar. I think the real issue is, do you play this over Devolving Missiles? Because Shaman already has access to that. And that is a good card, but it doesn't make Shaman good.
That's a really good card. I like that. I like that. That card's really annoying to play against. I don't know. I think this card's probably not as good as Evolve or Devolve, but those are two amazing cards.
Yes.
So I think it's probably either a 3 or a 4.
I think just incidentally turning your totems into random 1-drops. Random 1-drops are much better than your totems.
That's true. Yeah, I could see this being a 4.
I think this is probably a high 3 to a 4. Well, let's say a 3. I think this card will definitely see play though for sure.
So what did you say?
Probably a 3.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Cage Match Custodian. It's a 2 mana 2/2 elemental. And Battle Cry, you draw a weapon. I mean, this is just obviously a good card.
Yeah, getting weapon good.
The issue is that in Shaman, the weapons are kind of not that good. So you have this Whack-A-Null Hammer, which is coming up, and you have Doom Hammer. But other than that,
this goes great with the 3-drop.
Yeah, for sure.
If this was another class, it'd be busted.
I mean, this card already exists in Rogue, and it is busted.
Yes, it is busted. Yeah.
Yeah, this is just obviously it's a 2-drop that draws you a card it's good.
I think it's a 4.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Well, yeah. I mean, it just is only if the weapons turn out to suck, then it won't be great. But
yeah, no, this is a 4. Okay.
Right. Pitmaster.
Pitmaster. It's a 3 mana 1/2. Battlecry, you summon a 3/2, and if you corrupt it, you summon 2 3/2s. I don't know. This is
sounds bad.
Yeah, it is just a pile of stats. It's sort of a 3 mana 4/4. It's worse than a 3 mana 4/4, but I think you have to be doing some sort of
the earliest turn 5.
You have to be evolve/revolving this for it to be good, I think. Or you have a flame come down or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and then even if you get this on turn 5 and you play 3 minions that all have 2 health,
yes,
it's not that good.
Yeah, you have to.
A 2.
You have to be doing some sort of shenanigans with it. Just stats alone is not good, and the shenanigans right now in Shaman, revolve is probably not enough. It's probably a 2. Yeah. All right. Whack-A-Null Hammer. 3 mana 3/2 weapon. After your hero attacks, you have random friendly minion +1/+1.
Seems decent.
Seems decent, yeah. I don't know.
Seems quite good. It combos well with Cage Match.
No, that works.
Yeah, it just activates all your weapon synergies. And Fiery War Axe is not that far from playable.
No.
Well, it's better. It's literally just better.
Oh, you can unmute, John.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, if this is just straight up better than Fire War Axe, and that card is not that far from unplayable. So I think, considering you have Cage Match Custodian, so you're probably drawing this in most games, and this just supports Shaman's game plan of just having stuff on board. This probably is just a good card.
I think it's a 3, at least.
Yeah, it's not great, but it's kind of a necessary evil if you're playing the Enhancement Paladin or Enhancement Shaman. Yeah, it's probably a 3. I don't know, it's just a fine card. Alright, Dunk Tank, 4 mana, deal 4 damage, and if you corrupt it, then you also deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. This is fine, but it's Shaman does not need more board clears really. It also doesn't really need more burst. It has Lightning Bolt, Lava Burst.
Yeah.
I don't know. This card is just not that good at anything it does. It's flexible, but
I think it's a 2.
Yeah, a 2 seems right.
Magic Fin.
Magic Fin. 3 mana 3/4 Murloc. After a friendly Murloc dies, add a random legendary to your hand.
This is just a meme card.
I mean, if there's a Murloc Shaman deck, this is good in that deck, but I highly doubt that this will be that will be a deck.
This is not a good enough card to make that deck.
No, for sure it isn't. I mean, you play it in the deck though, but yeah, this is like a 2.
You play it in the deck because it's a Murloc deck. There's not that many Murlocs.
Yeah.
All right.
Alright. Deathmatch Pavilion. It's a weird card. It's a 2-mana spell, and you summon a 3/2 duelist. If your hero attacked this turn, summon another one. I don't know. This feels like it kind of sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like you can't play this before. You can't play this on turn 2.
You can't play it on turn 3 because you don't have mana for it after you equip a weapon.
On turn 4, it's not great.
And yeah, on turn 4 it's 2 mana for 2 3/2s, which is like it's good.
But that's like the best case.
Yeah, it's not gonna like win you the game though.
This is like a low 2.
Yeah, it's like a 2. I don't think this sees even in like a shaman deck that plays weapons and ability to attack stuff. I don't think you even play this.
Yeah.
Okay. Grand Totem Eyesore. It's a fucking funny name. Okay. 3 mana 0/4 totem. At the end of your turn, give +1/+1 to all of the totems in your hand, deck, and battlefield. I mean, kind of similar to like the Pure Paladin card. This is Totem Shaman. Put this in your Totem Shaman deck. That is the name of the card.
There's no other place for
Yeah.
it. It's pretty good in that.
It is pretty good in that deck. And that deck is actually pretty decent. I don't know, most tier lists probably have it pretty low, but I mostly play like Conquest and like tournament formats. It's like a good counter pick deck.
Yeah.
So yeah, this deck obviously makes that deck better, and you don't play it outside of that deck. So I don't know, it's like a 3, right?
Yep.
Okay. Alright.
Inara
Stormcrash. 5 mana 4/5. On your turn, your hero has +2 attack and Wind Fury. I think this is just good, right? Like, I think this is a better Hearthstone card than Doomhammer. Just because you get a 4/5 body attached with it, and you guarantee get the attacks in that turn. I mean, you probably play it in the same deck as like alongside Doomhammer, but I think this is a better card than Doomhammer. So, if there is a Shaman deck that cares about this attacking synergy, then you obviously play this.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, this is almost good enough to just play in like a random mid-range deck too, I think.
Yeah, it seems good.
Actually, it definitely is good enough to play in a random mid-range deck, but there isn't a random mid-range Shaman deck, so...
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it just has good synergy with weapons. Like, you play with a Whack-A-Mole Hammer and just whack them for 10.
Yeah, that seems very good.
You play with Storm Strike and just whack them for 10. Like...
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, there's no Shaman deck that really, like, wants this, though. I think, even after, like, all these fucking Shaman cards, there's still, like, no overarching synergy between these cards, you know? Like, it's just a bunch of random shit they threw together.
It's a good card, though.
Yeah, it's a good card, but I still think the best Shaman deck will just be, like, the high-roll Totem Shaman deck. That just sometimes randomly kills you on turn 4, and then other than that, you just lose every game.
Yeah.
And
so...
I probably don't play this card in that deck, so I don't know, it's like a 3 probably.
Yeah, a good card.
Good Hearthstone card.
Alright. 2 more.
To Warlock. Minari Mosher. 3 mana 3/4. Battle for a friendly demon +3 attack and lifesteal this turn. And it's a demon. It seems nuts, right? Like you play a 2 mana demon, and then you buff it on turn 3, and you also get a 3/4 demon.
What are the 2 mana demons?
There's admittedly not many 2 mana demons, but there's Midway Maniac, the 2 mana 1/5 taunt.
And if you're 1 mana demon, 6.
Yeah, so that's more about like Voidwalkers and Flame Imps. And it's not even bad. It's almost better as you go into the late game, because you have these bigger demons that you give lifesteal that like if you sustain going later into the game.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty good card.
Yeah, this is just another good Hearthstone card. It depends on if like the Zooey Warlock deck will exist, the Demon Lock will exist, but it's probably closer to a 3 than a 4 though.
Yeah.
I don't think this is insanely good, but it is just a good Hearthstone card. Okay. This card though. This card is just insanely good, I think. Alright, Ring Matron. It's a 6 mana 6/4 demon. It has Taunt and Death Rattle summon 2/3/2 imps. I mean, We should just address the elephant in the room. This card is just blatantly better than Savannah Highmane in Warlock. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
it is, and it has taunt too.
That's
the
why
biggest
it's
problem with
better,
high
yeah.
main is just people ignore it.
I mean, the issue with Highmane is you can just go over the top of it, but you cannot go over the top of this, and the things it summons are just better.
Yeah, for one less health.
Yeah. And you consider like all the demon synergy. It's mostly demon synergy in this set. But you consider the demon synergy. If there is a demon warlock, this is probably like one of the best cards in that deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a straight up good Hearthstone card. This is probably good enough to
like
play in just like any non-control warlock deck. It's probably like a 4.
Yeah, it's a very good card.
Yeah. Just a bunch of stats, and stats are still good. Alright, Midway Maniac, 2 mana, 1/5 Taunt Demon. I mean, this is just, you play, if Demon Zoolock is a deck, you play this as like filler in that deck, because there are not that many good demons. And outside of that, this like obviously sucks.
Yeah, basically.
It's like a 2.
It's like a 2.
Yeah. Alright, Free Admission. 3 mana spell, draw 2 minions. If they're both demons, reduce their cost by 2.
Even if I could draw 2 minions is really crucial.
Yeah, if there is a... I think this card is actually good. This is the one that would make a Demon Zoolock deck.
Yeah.
Because I think, like, best case scenario, you draw a Ring Matron that you can play on turn 4, which is nuts. And then you also draw something to play that turn that costs 0. Maybe,
That's a pretty good card.
Maybe like the Midway Maniac, yeah. I mean... I think this card is almost good enough to make Zoolock work. Just like a demon-based Zoolock.
Yeah.
You can also draw Ticketus from it, which is probably not irrelevant. We'll talk about that one in a little bit. It's probably like a 3. Maybe it's like a 4, actually. I don't know. This card seems really
this card
good.
could be very good.
Yeah, I think it's like a 4.
It could be a 4.
Yeah. Alright. Fire Breather. 4 mana, 4/3 demon. Battlecry deal 2 damage to all minions except demons. So it is a Demon Wrath on a stick.
This card is hot.
Yes. Jamie's attracted to Fire Breather.
No, because it's a fire.
Yes.
Ha ha ha.
I mean, again, this is kind of similar. Okay. Actually, you could play this on like a control demon or like a control warlock deck, I guess. But you probably wouldn't play this over just a consistent board clear. Because 2 damage doesn't clear a whole lot in the current day of Hearthstone.
That's true.
You wouldn't play this over like the dragon that Hellfire's on Battlecry.
No.
So I don't think.
But if you're playing a bunch of demons, like...
Yeah, if you're playing a bunch of demons, this is obviously really good. I don't think you play this outside of that, though. So this is obviously good on like the Demon Zoolock. It's probably not that great outside of that. It's like a 3, I guess, yeah. Alright, Wicked Whispers. 1 mana, discard your lowest cost card to give your minions +1/+1. This is like a zoo discard card. And if you know me, you know that I fucking hate discard warlocks, like my least favorite deck of all time. Even more so than Big Priest. I fucking hate this whole mechanic. I hate this whole deck. I actually don't think this card is that good in that deck, though. Because...
This card does not work well in Hearthstone.
Just because, like, most of the stuff that you get synergy from discarding is your expensive stuff and not your cheap stuff. And your cheap stuff is, like, most of, like, the engines that make your deck work.
Mm-hmm.
So this is obviously only good if you already have a board. So this is more of, like... But you compare it to, like, Grim Rally, which is, like, the 1 mana, which is you destroy a friendly minion, then give your minions +1/+1. I think this is pretty clearly worse than that.
Yeah. It is like a 2.
Yeah, it's like a 2. I don't think this makes the cut in most decks.
No. And those decks suck. This might just be a 1.
Okay, you have to keep in mind, though, that there is discard synergy still in Standard with, like, the Nightshade Maester and the Hand of Gul'dan.
Yeah, okay.
It is possible it sees some play, although I think it's relatively unlikely. Okay. Cascading Disaster. 4 mana spell. Destroy a random enemy minion, corrupt destroy 2, corrupt again destroy 3. Nah, that seems kind of bad, right? Like,
yeah.
You have to corrupt.
Random, it's not useful.
Yeah. Okay. I think there's like a 1. I don't think this will ever see play.
1, okay.
Alright. Revenant Rascal. It's a 3 mana 3/3 minion. Battlecry, destroy a mana crystal for both players. John, I want to hear your thoughts on this one. Well, what do you think about this card, John? Revenant Rascal.
No, I hate it. I hate that shit. Just like
Why?
destroying mana is not fun.
But it's for both
Yes,
players.
land destruction is probably the least fun mechanic in all of Magic. And it hasn't really
Nobody likes
existed in
shit.
Hearthstone yet. I think this card is like really good though.
Yeah, and this demon, it's not a demon, which I think is relevant.
But yeah, you play this
But
in like an aggressive
Demon
Warlock
Zulok?
deck.
Yeah, that's really nuts.
And like you play this on turn 3, and then you make your opponent miss their 2-drop, and then you delay their board clear by 1 turn.
This card seems very good, I think, in an aggressive demon. I don't know how good that aggressive demon deck is, but this card's good in it.
It doesn't even have to be a demon deck; it's just any aggro Warlock deck. It doesn't quite make the cut in like wild discard Warlock, but like I don't know. I think if there is an aggressive Warlock deck, this is definitely like actually one of the best cards that you might want to just keep in every opener, or like keep in openers against control decks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this card seems really good to me. It's probably like a 4. Maybe not a 4. Maybe like a 3.
Because it is aggro only.
Yeah. Alright. Deck of Chaos. 6-mana legendary spell. Swap the cost and attack of all minions in your deck. This pretty clearly sucks, right? Like,
It's just a meme card.
Yeah.
If it also included your opponent's deck, I think we would have a conversation.
yeah. No.
But
I mean, the obvious synergy with Jiraxis, it makes your Jiraxis cost 3. But you still can't play it until turn 7 or later. It's not like you get a turn 3 Jiraxis. It is a cheap Jiraxis. This is pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. Let's talk Ticketus. Oh, baby. It's a 6-mana 8/8. With Battlecry, remove the top 5 cards from your deck. Or if you corrupt it, you remove them from your opponent's deck instead. Okay.
This is one of the cards where you don't need to corrupt it for it to be useful.
Yeah, if you're just playing like an aggro Warlock, that like maybe in the Demon Zulok, this is just a 6-mana 8/8. It has a downside, but it's just a 6-mana 8/8.
Yeah.
But that's not what makes this card cool. This is like very clearly geared towards like a slow Warlock deck that can consistently corrupt it. And then I think this is why Yasharj is the best old god, because of this card. You mill your opponent for 5, and then you get this back for free with Yasharj, and you get a free 8 and mill them for 5 more. You're ahead 10 cards in Fatigue. Like, how do you lose that game?
Yeah, I mean, is that slow Warlock deck good, though?
Yeah, so the issue with slow Warlock deck right now is sometimes you just get run over and die, and you don't really have enough healing to stop that. I mean, yeah, the issue with slow Warlock right now is that you actually are not short on win cons. There's like plenty of win cons with like Galakrond and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. This just seems so good. Because it's not... You don't have to build your... Unlike Galakrond, you don't have to build your deck around it. Your win con can literally just be this card.
Yeah.
You can play this card and just, like, fatigue your opponent. I guess that's hard because you're playing life tap and shit, but you're not tapping 10 times in a game.
Yeah.
And the more I think about it, the more I think that actually Cascading Disaster is not a 1, because I think you might play that in the Corrupt Warlock deck. If that is a deck. So maybe change Cascading Disaster to like a 2, because I might see some play, actually.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, this card seems good.
And yeah, even if you're not playing it in like a Yasharj, like straight up shell, like this is just a good card to have, just to get 5 cards ahead in Fatigue and maybe mill your... Just randomly win the game by milling their like Ysera or something like that. Like,
Yeah, you need to activate it, so you're not playing it before turn 8.
yeah,
but
yeah. I don't know. This just seems nuts to me.
Yeah, I think it's at least a 4.
Okay, let's give it a 4. I don't think it's a 5, but
Alright, Warrior.
we move to Warrior. Last class, John. We're almost there, buddy.
Oh god. Okay.
Okay, yeah, this is you. All right.
This is my only thing.
We'll start with Stagehand. It's a 2-mana 3/2 mech. Battlecry of random in your hand +1/+1. This
That's boring.
seems bad.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not very good.
Okay. I don't think you even play this in like the Menagerie mid-range warrior. That's like they're trying to push, I think.
Yeah. If it was another class besides Warrior, maybe, but
Yeah.
not.
It's not like a bad Hearthstone card, so I guess it's like a 2, but
Yeah,
definitely
I
not
think
like
that's
good.
fair.
Okay. Sword Eater. 4-mana 2/5 pirate with taunt. Battlecry equip a 3/2 sword.
So Borax.
Isn't this just like insane?
So I mean, if Fiery Warx is close to being playable at 3, this is just Fiery Warx, but on
Yeah,
4.
if we say that Fiery War Axe is like 2.5 mana,
Yeah.
It's weird how good it is.
So 1.5 mana for a 2/5.
with taunt. The taunt makes it good against aggro, and the battle cry makes it good like as a tempo card.
Yeah, this card seems
This
good.
is
And
super
fire.
auto include in any like mid-rangey warrior deck. And the fact it's a pyre is actually important for some of like the synergies here.
Yeah.
I think this card is actually almost good enough to make like some sort of mid-range warrior deck at least get tried to be played.
Yeah.
Like it just seems it's just so much stuff for 4 mana. Like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like a 4 I think at least.
Yeah. I don't
Just
think the next card is though.
good Hearthstone card. Okay. Minefield. 5 mana, or sorry, 2 mana spell. Deal 5 damage randomly split among all minions. I mean, this is just like straight up a control warrior card. Right? You never play this if you have minions on the field.
Yeah.
Actually,
But
maybe
if you
you
have
do.
them-
Maybe you do if you have like an armor smith and you just want to gain health.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe this card's not terrible.
No, but like no, you're playing this as like your opponent plays a 1-drop on a 2-drop, and then on turn 2 you kill both of them. That is like the best. That's like the best possible scenario for this card.
Yeah.
Is that like good enough to play? I don't know, resident warrior expert.
Oh,
Mind
I like the art.
Okay.
Thank you, Resident Warrior expert.
You know what? I think it is.
I think it's like a 2.
I think-
You could
I
play in
think
Control
you
Warrior.
can play it in some decks.
Yeah, if your deck
Like,
doesn't play minions, this actually seems pretty
It'd be
solid.
2 mana, do 5 damage.
Would you play this in your stupid Taskmaster deck?
Probably not. I have no idea. I don't play this game anymore.
I think it's like a 2. It's not a terrible Hearthstone card, but it's not like amazing.
Yeah, you need like a pretty tailor-made scenario for this to really shine. It's pretty bad outside of that. I don't know. Okay, actually, if you think about it, you can. There was like the 5 mana 3/4 that Battlecry did this. That was like a really good card actually, and you like usually had opportunities to play it. If you compare it to like Flame Cannon,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
if they have
It's kinda
one
like-
dude on board, this probably just kills it.
Yeah, it does.
I actually kind of like this card. It's probably like a 3.
Yeah.
Feet of
I guess this
Strength.
goes with the taunt shit.
Yeah, 3 mana,
Yeah,
give a random
predatory
taunt minion in
taunt.
your hand +5/+5.
You play it on turn 3, make Sword Eater amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
But that just seems a
I
little
don't think
unreliable.
that's, yeah. If fucking Serenite Chain Gang was in standard, this would be actually good. But Serenite Chain Gang is not in
I
standard.
have no idea what that
Thank God.
Yeah, this is too often. This is just 3 mana, do nothing. Like,
Yeah.
for it to
Yeah,
simple.
I think
This is
it's-
probably.
I think it's a 2 because it does have really high upside, but
I don't know. The upside isn't even good until like turn 8 when you can play like a Tomb Warden. Yeah, no, this is. I don't think this will ever see any play. Even in decks that have like a bunch of taunts in them, I don't think you can play this.
okay. Give it a 1.
Yeah, I think so. This has to be like attached to a body for like this effect to be played, I think. Okay. Stage Dive. So 1 mana, draw a rush minion. And corrupt you give a +2/+1. Okay. And the upside of this card is it's insanely easy to corrupt. I mean, it gets corrupted by everything.
Yes.
Get
How good is a 1 mana draw a rush minion, give it +2/+1 after turn 1?
Yeah. So if you compare this to what's it called? Like Town Crier was the card. It's the 1 mana 1/2 that draws a rush minion. I mean that card was nuts. That was like an easy 5-star card.
There's no body on this though.
There's
You
no
can't
body
play it.
attached to this, and you can't play it on turn 1. I mean you can play it on
Yeah.
turn 1, but it sucks if you play it on turn 1. Yeah, I don't think you play this unless you have like synergy of rush minions that you obviously want to buff.
So Bumper Car, I think, is the obvious next choice there.
I don't know.
But still, that's like a that doesn't
Yeah.
seem that good.
It doesn't
It's
seem
like
that good. I guess it's like a 2. Maybe we're missing like some synergy, but it doesn't seem that
a,
great to
yeah,
me.
I think it's a little too.
Alright, Bumper Car. 2 mana 1/3 mech with Rush. Death Rider will add 2 1/1 riders with Rush to your hand. This seems pretty bad.
Yeah. I think
The
so.
synergy here is with ETC God of Metal. And we'll talk about my thoughts on that card later, but I do not think that card is very good.
Yeah, I think it's a 2.
Alright. Tent Trasher. 5 mana 5/5 with Rush. And it costs 1 less for each friendly minion with a unique minion type. So this is like one of the cornerstones of that like menagerie mid-range warrior. Okay, so a 5 mana 5/5 with Rush is bad. It's not like unplayable, but it's bad.
Yeah.
But a 4 mana 5/5 with Rush is good. It's not like insanely good, but it's good. And if you can discount this by any more, this is like obviously just crazy good.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's a dragon is important. You don't.
Yeah.
It comes back with N'Zoth, and it has instant impact. I don't know, this isn't like great, but it is just like a good support card for the archetype.
Yeah, the problem is it's trying to make a deck.
Right,
And
yeah. I don't think this card is enough to make a deck.
But I think it's a good card.
It is a good Hearthstone card, though. There's a lot of those in this set that are this is a good Hearth. There's not many just like obviously bad cards in this set.
Alright, want to give it a 3?
Give it like a 3, yeah. Alright. Ringmaster's Baton. 2 mana 1/3. After a hero attacks, you have a mech dragon and pirate in your hand +1/+1. So the issue I have with this card is that the shell for the Menagerie Warrior is much more geared towards like a mid-range deck than a control deck. And this is just so slow. Like, I don't know.
Making Sword Eater a 3/6 is kind of
Making Sword Eater a 3/6 is pretty spicy, but also you play it and it kills your baton.
Yeah, that's.
So they're trying to make a mech dragon pirate deck.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucking retarded.
Yeah, I think that's might be correct. I think this card's not very good.
Yeah, I don't. This card is. I mean, if this deck is a thing, you play this card, but it is definitely not like one of the most important cards in the deck.
No. Does that make it a 2?
Yeah, probably like a 2.
Okay.
Alright. Ringmaster Wally. 5 mana 3/5. Battlecry, draw a mech dragon and pirate. This is the card that will make the deck.
Yeah, but it's a legendary.
It is a legendary. And so again, this is the issue I have with the deck, is that the shell is geared much more towards a mid-range deck than a control deck. Because you can't play this in a control deck because it fatigues you too much. I mean, you can play it, but it's not that great because it fatigues you too much.
But in the mid-range deck, it's 5 mana, draw 3.
Right, but the cards are like, I don't know, we'll see some of the neutral cards that support it, and like N'Zoth obviously is your big finisher. I just don't think the cards are strong enough to play it in a mid-range deck. Like other than Sword Eater, which is obviously insane, obviously mid-range decks in 2020 have to be playing the best possible thing on curve to beat like any unfair deck. And I don't think this deck is unfair enough.
It's not that.
Yeah.
No. I think it's like a 2.
Yeah, turn 5, I play my 3/5.
Yeah.
Draw.
Let's just get to the last one.
Alright, ETC God of Metal. Dude,
First. ETC is back, baby.
I am so sad that this card is so bad.
Yes.
It's
ETC was one of the most fun cards
like a
in the game.
legendary Hearthstone card, like one of like the most iconic Hearthstone. I don't know anything about WoW, but I assume that this is like pretty cool too. And like they put it on a 2-drop. And it's not a good 2-drop.
Let's remember that ETC was not a good card.
ETC was not a good card. That is very fair.
But it was such a fun card.
Yeah.
This is just like, this isn't a good card and it's not a fun card.
Yeah. I think the entrance animation is really cool. So that's a plus, I guess. But yeah. No, yeah, this card isn't good. This card is best with like... You could play it in like Galakron Warrior with Scion of Ruin. You could play it with Bumper Car.
Yeah, it's just not that good, though.
Honestly, the best card with this card is Athletic Studies because it just discovers you a not terrible Rush minion. But yeah, no, this card's bad.
Well, at least give him Rush.
That's true. It just goes with Broomstick.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
but is that good enough to make it? You basically have to build your deck around it.
ETC God of Metal plus 5 0 mana 1/1s plus animated Broomstick. Dude, easy 14 damage combo. I'm a Legend Hearthstone player, by the way.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this card's bad.
I feel bad giving it a 1, but
I think this card is probably 1.
yeah. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we're
that
through the
was-
slog. We're almost done, boys. We moved to the neutral
Ian,
cards.
Ian. I don't think we can get to the neutrals.
No, there's not that many. Most of them are just like arena cards.
Let's speed run them.
All right. Silas Darkmoon.
There's so many.
7 mana 4/4. Battlecry. Choose a direction to rotate. It's Jamie. It's like 10 minutes. All right.
How the last mission?
I'll give you 10 minutes.
All right. 7 mana 4/4. Battlecry. Choose a direction to rotate all minions. This is
That
like a
seems stupid.
meme combo card. This is not good.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like a 2. Yeah. All right. Horrendous Growth. It's a 2 mana 2/2 with corrupt. Game +1/+1 can be corrupted endlessly. I mean, like, it just isn't doing. It's just a pile of stats.
It's so slow.
It's so
It
slow.
sucks.
It's just a pile of stats. It's bad. I think it's probably like a 1. Okay. Darkmoon Rabbit. 10 mana 1/1 with Rush, Poisonous, also damage the minion next to whoever attacks. This is best case 10 mana, kill 3 things, and usually it's not even that good. This is a 1. This card
Really sucks.
This is,
This is
really
a
bad.
terrible card, yeah.
Okay.
Cool concept, though. I like Rabbit.
Carnival Clown. 9 mana 4/4 taunt, and you summon 2 copies of this, or you corrupt it and fill your board with copies. This is only good in the Yashar's like corrupt control deck.
It still sucks.
I mean, the baseline is actually not terrible. You could just play this without corrupting. It's actually not terrible, but I don't know. I think this card is probably bad in that deck because
I'd rather
you're more
just
focused
play.
on not dying than filling it. I will say, fucking survival of the fittest. This card is busted with that. You play survival of the fittest and you fill your board with 8/8 taunts. That's fucking funny. I don't think that's probably good too. This could Z-play theoretically, but I don't think it will. Okay. Safety Inspector. It's a 1 mana 1/3. Battlecry. Shuffle the lowest cost card from your deck into your hand, from your hand into your deck, and then you draw a card.
This is bad.
Kind of a cool effect, but yeah, I just don't think it's good on Z-play. It's like a 2. All right. Derailed Coaster. 5 mana 3/2. Battlecry. Summon a 1/1 rider with Rush for each minion in your hand. This might be like the worst card in the set. This is like obviously terrible. It's like obviously
It's terrible.
unplayable. Yeah. It is an easy one. All right.
Yeah.
Kathir Ritualist. 3 mana
It's
4/4.
not good enough.
Battlecry. Add a random 4-cost minion to your opponent's hand. This is also obviously a 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's terrible.
Okay. Inconspicuous Rider. Okay, this card is actually good. 3 mana 2/2. Battlecry. Cast a Secret from your deck. This is slightly
That's a
slower,
good
but
card.
also slightly faster Mad Scientist. I think you probably play this in like the Tempo Secret Hunter deck. You probably play this in the Secret Mage deck too, to be honest. Like, I think this card. Yeah, no, this is definitely going to play in the Secret Mage deck, just because you're drawing it and playing it, as opposed to Kirin-Tor, which is there's worse stats than Kirin-Tor, but you have to have the secret in your hand.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I'm gonna go in like 3 minutes.
Okay.
this card's not as good as Mad Scientist, but
Obviously, Mad Scientist is one of the best cards ever printed, though. I think it's like a 4, honestly. I think this you'll see a lot of play.
Yeah.
Okay. Fleethoof Pearl Tusk. It's a 5 mana 4/4 rush corrupt game +4/+4. This is pretty bad. There's better things to corrupt. I guess it clears the thing off, but like, it's not good.
No, it's not.
Alright. Claw Machine, 6 mana 6/3 rush death rattle. Draw a minion and go +3/+3. This card's bad. Probably good to pull off
like
athletic
Claw
studies though. Okay. Optimistic Ogre. 5 mana 6/7. 50% chance to attack the correct enemy. What great flavor. This
Funny
is bad
card.
flavor. It's not a good card. It's a 1 card.
Yeah.
Okay. Strongman. Kind of a cool card here. 7 mana 6/6 taunt and corrupt this costs 0. So this is kind of one of the payoffs for like the Yashar's like corrupt deck, just in the sense that you can play like your big board clear or your big thing, and you should also attack a 6/6 taunt onto it. And with Yashar's, you play it and just get a 6/6 taunt. I think this is probably decent. It's slow though. It's just probably like a 2 realistically, but I think it is at least worth considering in those decks.
Yeah.
All right, sleeper card of the set right here, Knife Fender. 4 mana 3/4. Battlecry, deal 4 damage to each hero. I think this is actually good enough in most aggro decks. This will get there, especially ones that like don't have a
Yeah.
ton of burst.
Yeah. Yeah, this is decent.
I actually think this just gets there. This is basically like neutral Kor'kron Elite almost. Like, Kor'kron Elite is a good Hearthstone card.
Yeah.
I don't think this is like a 4. I could see this seeing like a ton of play. Maybe I'm just
Yeah,
like
I think it's a 3. I
Okay,
like that.
3 works. All right, Gyre Worm. If you play an elemental last turn, deal 3 damage to 3 mana 3/2 elemental. This is pretty decent in the elemental deck, but I don't think there will be an elemental deck, and this is not good enough to make an elemental deck work.
Yeah.
Give it a
I
2.
think it's a solid 2.
Yeah. All right, here's an important one actually. Circus Amalgam. 4 mana, 4/5 taunt, and this has all minion types. This is actually, I think, a really important card in that like mid-range, like menagerie warrior, if that is a deck.
But it sucks.
I don't know. A 4/5 taunt is like not good, but it's also not terrible, and it's just the fact that
It has
it is,
every synergy.
it has so much synergy in the sense that if you don't have, say, a pirate in your hand, but you need to buff something, like this gives you the buff, you know, or it gets drawn off your Watley, even if you don't have any pirates left in your deck.
Yeah.
It's not like great. I think this is like a 2, probably realistic. 'Cause I don't think that deck will be good, but this is like an important part of that deck if that deck exists.
Yeah.
Okay. Costumed Entertainer. Battle Cry. Give a random in your hand +2/+2. It's 2 mana. This card sucks. This is the one.
Okay.
Banana Vendor. 3 mana 2/4. Add 2 bananas to each player's hand.
I don't want
You
bananas.
could put that in like a mill deck maybe, but that doesn't exist. This is the one. It's a bad card.
Yep.
Darkmoon Dirigible. 3 mana 3/2 with Divine Shield and Corrupt to gain Rush. This card kind of a sleeper actually. 3 mana 3/2 Divine Shield is like pretty solid actually.
Yeah.
And you give it Rush sometimes. I don't know. This is one of the corrupt cards that you actually like don't care about corrupting because it's not that important. I think it's probably bad, but it's actually not that far from playable. It's probably like a 2.
Yeah.
Darkmoon Statue. Your other minions have +1 attack and corrupt this game's +4 attack. I think this is bad.
Yeah. It looks bad to me.
Yeah, this is bad.
I think that's a 1.
Yeah. Circus Medic. 4 mana 3/4, restore 4 health, or you can corrupt to deal 4 damage to it. It's cool. It's like modal. It's kind of like it's flexible. I just don't think either mode is good enough though, because you're not playing this in aggro deck where the 4 damage is like really relevant.
I think it's a solid 2 though.
It's like a 2, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Fantastic Firebird. It's a 4 mana 3/5 elemental Wind Fury. This is an arena card. It's bad. All right, Parade Leader. 2 mana 2/3. After you summon a rush minion, give it +2 attack. Cool synergies like some of the Demon Hunter, like get a bunch of 1/1s with rush, but I don't think those cards are playable. So ergo, this card is also not playable. I think this is 1.
Okay.
Prize Vendor. 2 mana 2/3 Battlecry. Both players draw a card and some are luck. This is like shitty Cold Light Oracle, but I guess Cold Light Oracle is Hall of Famed. But the card is enough worse than Cold Light Oracle. This probably never see any play.
Yeah.
Rock Rager. 2 mana 5/1 elemental with taunt. This card is bad. Okay. Showstopper. 2 mana 3/2 Jethro Silence all minions. This is another like kind of techie card. I think there's actually a meta that exists where this could be an important card in a lot of decks. Mostly because it synergizes really well with Broomstick. And Broomstick is kind of been proven to be like a busted Hearthstone card. I think there could be a meta that exists where this is actually a really good card, but I don't think we'll see it in this expansion, so it's probably like a 2. But keep your eye on this card. I think this card is kind of interesting. Okay, last card of the set, Wriggling Horror. 2 mana 2/1, Battlecry give adjacent minions +1/+1. I don't know. Like, this is actually pretty solid, but I don't think the baseline level is like powerful enough to have it see play in like modern aggro decks. If this card were in Classic, this would have like destroyed Hearthstone.
Yes.
But yeah, I just don't think it quite gets there because most aggro decks these days are like so synergistic that like
it says no synergy.
Giving adjacent things +1/+1 while good in like a zoo shell, it just doesn't quite get there. You know, probably like a 2. But this is a good arena card though. All right, you hit everything, right?
Yeah, it is everything.
All right, Jamie, give me 1 card. What are you most excited about? 1 card. John, think about yours while he's thinking.
I already got it.
All right.
John, what's yours?
ETC God of Metal, baby.
Really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, what are you playing with ETC God of Metal?
I don't know. I'm gonna find out.
Bumper
Actually,
cards?
I'm not gonna find out because I'm not gonna play the game.
Yes, you are. Okay.
I'm gonna say open the cages.
Open the cage. Oh, there's Hunter Secret. Yeah, that's a good.
Yep.
That's just a solid card. Okay, I'm gonna
I
say.
like having Huffer.
I'm gonna say Balloon Merchant and Hammer of the Naru and also.
Shocking.
Yeah, probably also N'Zoth. I'll probably try to make N'Zoth work at some point, but. All right. Well, there's our set review. That was like a good 2.5 hours.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some dinner.
All right.
Not
It's
breakfast.
1:30 in the morning, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
okay.
I didn't get to get breakfast because I was doing this, Ian.
Okay. Well, thank you for
Well,
watching.
that was a waste of time.
Yeah, John,
Thanks, John, for playing
you
along.
probably didn't have to be here for the entire thing. You could have left if you wanted.
I wasn't here for some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I
was
don't
not
know
here
if
for
you
all
guys
of it.
noticed.
All right. Well, thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you guys later. Like and comment and subscribe. Bye bye.